hilarious to see. I don't think any other Western team or any Western team has done that strat yet. That's been a Vici Gaming thing through and through. But I just want to put that out there that it could be a possibility. I don't know how Bulldog is comfortable with it, but you never know. Maybe they're like, let's try it out, you know? Or maybe S4 is like, guys, I saw this strat. Let's do it.
Yeah, that's right. At Nanyang, they actually tried to pick it, I think, and then Secret banned it against them. But ever since it made the raves and the airwaves that it did, you know, going on Reddit and all these things with these highlights, I seen it tried against me, and I've tried it myself. It is strong, man. Yeah, I don't even think you need the Morphling. I think it's just an alchemist that just pulls the axe to an Undying, and by 20 minutes, this Undying stealing 10 strength per like every 5 seconds in the team fight. It is hard to beat.
Yeah, that's just where like the ceiling is just... Sky's the limit here for Alliance already. When you have an Alchemist and stuff, the game continues to go later, you're only going to get that much better. Heroes like Undying are going to get blessed with the opportunity of stealing 10 strength every sap, and they didn't have to farm for it. They have the pleasure of the Alchemist on their team, but we'll see. Maybe they consider the Morphling. If not, other valuable Bulldog options here, something that might be able to help. It's a tough laning setup here if they accidentally... You know, don't set it properly. Oh, a Tidehunter. Very good for the Broodmother. I wonder if that means they're going to try to match him up one-on-one. And who's going to get that matchup?
I think looking at the lane so far, he's actually not too worried. Because at this point, you can assume that Spirit Breaker and Tusk are the supports running around this 4-5 positions. And honestly, Tide is very good against both heroes as well in terms of mitigating their aggression. If Tusk gets on top of you with another hero with a snowball, you just anchor smash them both, and all of a sudden none of them have damage. And of course with the Broodmother, it'd be his favorite matchup, because Broodmother would do like absolutely nothing against the hero. But it's okay if the Broodmother goes against the Undying, Alchemist, and Vayne. If they do lane it like that, of course, because Alk in the lane with some support, he can topple the Broodmother.
Yeah, well, that's nice. It does feel like it'll be a pretty difficult setup here for Virtus.Pro to find a promising laning phase without running into at least a little bit of trouble. But they got to get their last grab here. Could be probably the secondary support, something a bit more defensive if they're not already planning on putting Tusk in support. But maybe this last pick has thrown them off a bit and they want to change things up. We'll have to see. Otherwise, what are some classic, like, or do they need to be more proactive with it? Something that can help, like, get the Undying Tombstone, maybe offer some additional armor. Or, you know, maybe you go crazy and get like a silencer or something to, you know, for the Tidehunter. What do you think the best bet would be?
I do think a range carry is the right approach here. I think something that helps them secure Roshan as well, because they do have a Shadow Fiend and possibly a Broodmother if she opts to build the Russian Broodmother build right now, which is like the Desolator. To be frank about it so far though, with that Tidehunter pick, I would say VP is like in pretty deep trouble for the time being. Like, that Tidehunter pick was brilliant. I was thinking one of the things that VP could use to their advantage in this game is, even if they don't win the early game against Bane and Undying, they have a lot of stuns, and they do have a Shadow Fiend, which could probably be the best hero in this game in the mid game, like 20 minutes down the road, even if Alchemist maintains the same farm. And yeah, that's going to be the Vengeful Spirit, the range carry of their option.
I thought this was something we weren't going to see much of anymore, because Illidan's no longer part of the team, and they have Silent now, but it appears that this is just the FNG special more.
It is.
You know, not it's something Illidan runs. So for everyone out there who is like, oh, we're not going to get to see the classic core silencer, core vengeful spirit, or even Drow Rangers. Yeah, it looks like you still are going to be seeing lots of that. And I'm excited and curious to see how Silent is going to be playing the vengeful spirit. I got to imagine it's something he does not get a lot of practice with. So unless they've been doing it recently in scrim play, I'd love to see Silent's take on the core vengeful spirit. But you can't help but there's a bit of a stigma there, Claire. It's just one of those cores that no other team out there ever really goes for. You know, people attested to the fact that she can't really even just go to the jungle and farm up a bit. Her stun can be easily dodged and disjointed. But, you know, is there promising reasons why a team like Virtus.Pro continue to go for it time and time again?
I mean, again, VP is a very lane-centric / snowball-centric team who like to rely a lot on execution. And heroes like Vengeful Spirit do complement that in a sense, because they are strong in the early game. They are hard to fight into. And as it was touched upon earlier, like Roshan potential with Vengeful Spirit is always very strong with the Wave of Terror as well as the aura and the presence that she gives. So with the SF, they'll be able to secure that relatively quickly. I don't think it's definitely as reliable as often as they like to pick it. But this game they needed something. They needed something different because as it stands, Alliance's lineup is very, very difficult to topple in the early stages. And with this lineup, they just might be able to do it.
Yeah, they'll definitely have to make sure they have that buddy-buddy system, I like to say, a lot. Because the thing with the Vengeful Spirit also is because she's not one to like really jungle farm, she's always kind of predictable as far as what she's doing. She's not lane farming.
Exactly.
You know, she's plotting something. So if
Yeah.
you don't see her on the map, something's a bit fishy. If you do see her, she's there to farm. And you worry that some teams see that and it's almost a bit predictable. But hey, it's Virtus.Pro. They have to have a trick up their sleeve, I'm sure.
It's definitely very reminiscent of like a Night Stalker playing like off lane or mid especially. You know if these heroes are missing, their time is best spent ganking you or doing something that's more effective around the map than just hit farming neutrals. It just doesn't scale well enough in terms of not playing aggressive. So the ball is in their hands to an extent, but it'll shift over eventually if they don't make something out of it.
Now we'll see the game get underway here. A best-of-3 alliance going against Virtus.Pro. Virtus.Pro already have one series in the bag. Alliance will have one series down and they're one series up. This is their final series of playing in this group, and they would love to be able to finish towards the top and bump a team like OG out and in the lower part of the bracket. So no surprise to see. It's actually going to be Alchemist in the mid lane. Loda going to be in the mid lane, joined by Akke, and they're going to have a dual lane setup. A lot of emphasis here. He was able to get that early bounty rune, so he had a nice early boost. Silence kind of stuck in the lane by himself, going toe-to-toe against S4 and his Queen of Pain, so these lanes certainly have been switched up so that they will have the mighty Bulldog Watermelon go against this Broodmother here. It's going to be a tough task, Claire, for DkPhobos on this one.
Yeah, it's ever since the Tidehunter buffs to the Kraken Shell, this matchup just became harder and harder, and with the Broodmother Spiderlings being slightly nerfed in the recent patch as well, I don't see this going in any way in any favor to DkPhobos, so he's just gonna have to sap EXP and do the best he can.
It's one of those things, like, I would not be surprised in the upcoming patch. They could even give more love to Tidehunter, just the fact that we haven't really seen much of him at all. And with that, and if, let's say, there's a good performance here, it might spark some interest from a lot of the other teams, and we could see the return of Tidehunter. But is there something about Tidehunter that we don't get to see much more of him as it stands? Is it too much around his ultimate that, you know, it's a one and done kind of a thing, and you can't farm Ancients as reliably? How come we don't get to see the hero as much unless it's in a gimmicky kind of matchup, if you will, like this one?
I guess the first thing that really phased him out of the scene was the slight nerf that he received after the buffs. The Anchor Smash was what really brought him into play with the 60% damage reduction at level 1. So since they touched upon that, they also made the Ancients a little bit harder by buffing the Ancients over the course of the last few patches. And yeah, small things add up for sure. But I definitely think Tidehunter is really good this metagame. Like, look at all the heroes of VP. None of those heroes do enough damage to Tidehunter, barring Shadow Fiend. And that's just because of a Shadow Fiend thing more than a Tidehunter thing.
And this Shadow Fiend may not even go too offensive. I mean, I'm looking around at possible mech candidates and any of them that might be able to get a mech in decent time. I'm wondering if Shadow Fiend's going to have to get one for his team, or if he will be forced to go more offensive just to help against this Tidehunter here. Lil is snowballing, but that's just to get away from a bit of trouble. It looks like Alliance have shifted Akke now up to the top lane, so they have more of an aggro setup. And this is very difficult. If you're talking about VP as a team that love to have heavy emphasis in the laning stage, this is something I'm sure they're not hoping for. Top and bottom certainly not going the way they expected. They do have a promising mid lane with Shadow Fiend still sporting, 14-4 CS to Alchemist's 11-4, but that's an Alchemist after all, and after a few stacks and one bounty rune, he'll be caught up and fine.
Yeah, probably further ahead even, I would say. But yeah, this matchup in general, I guess it favors SF, despite the fact that Akke was here to harass a bit. I think they didn't make the best usage of that because Loda was missing a couple CS, and as you can see, G's still CSing extremely well. One of the nice things about Shadow Fiend versus Alk is, what you just saw there with the denies, it's very easy for Shadow Fiend to deny the CS that Alk wants, as well as deny, not only deny the EXP, but also get himself the CS, because despite the Quelling Blade, his base damage is just way higher. And Shadow Fiend is just one of the better heroes.
And G is one of the best players to play that hero, and it's a rare that we get to see him even get it. Normally respect banned out, but it was a bit of a different draft here in Alliance. Felt pretty confident, and they're going to have the acid spray now, so it will be a bit touchy here for Shadow Fiend. But as he walks in, gets off a couple of raises, and Lowe's just kind of zoning him back a bit, so he gets free will on this top 4-minute rune. He's hoping for a bounty. Will it be a bounty? No. It's a golden rune, but it's going to be an illusion. That leaves the bottom bounty here for Shadow Fiend, and Yet for anything to take off. Very quiet game at the start. No first blood yet. As we approach the 5-minute mark, but
yeah, he's making a movement down south.
see, he's walking that way. Bulldog spotted out, charged up right now. Broodmother already has the creeps pulled back and behind, but here comes the committed dive. It's going to be a 3-on-1. Will TP's come in? Already one out. Their newest member here, Kebap, shows up, and he's got the Undying Tombstone. He's going to drop it down. He gets off a nice soul rip onto Bulldog, and Bulldog's turning back the action. What a convenient bash. Is going to bump it away from GG. Turns it around, gets a raise off, but Undying's going to be getting picked off right there, and it turns out still to be in the favor of Virtus.Pro. They can't get the mighty Bulldog down, but they do get the sacrificial Undying.
That was a very fortuitous bash, you could say.
Oh, man. What's happening? So, trades up top lane. S4 blinked in, committed. Turnaround stun from Silent. And thanks to some bottle charges and hefty regen, he's able to walk away before being taken down. Wow. That was also a close trade.
Always a close call for S4. He always likes to play on the edge, and sometimes he does get punished for it, but this time he will survive with the skin of his teeth.
Well, let's break it down now that we have a moment of pause here for Kebab, who needs to reconnect. It looks like here we can actually reevaluate what the hell's been going on. Not much action breaking out in the mid lane, but you know we have Loda now, who is working his way through a pretty damn hefty stack now, and I'm wondering if Loda is also going to be more on the Miracle bandwagon of Alchemist play. It's what many consider the most promising build-up so far. Do you think it applies the same for this matchup, or if you can go about something a bit different? And what I'm talking about, of course, is the Solar Crest and maybe something like a Shadow Blade or Blink. Do you think that would work out well for Loda this game, or does he need to change things up a bit?
Honestly, I think this is one of those games where I would support the mini Naga build. Again, VP's lineup, they're so single target centric that if they don't push towers with SF like crazy in the early game, they're just not going to be able to push against the team fight of Alliance. And I feel like just delaying the process of the push and allowing yourself to get bigger and bigger while you're pushing out other waves, such as a Naga Siren, is gonna really allow them to just like run over in one team fight in the mid game stages.
Yeah.
So I think I like the Radiance build this game.
We'll see if it's something they go for. Back at top lane after that mini skirmish, Silent has used his salve, is healed up fine. And we'll continue his matchup here against Akke, who put an early level, it looks like, into Enfeeble. His Bane build here, interesting, nothing into sleep at all. He went with the 1-2 build at the start and favors nerfing down the damage, it looks like, of the Vengeful Spirit, which it's a respectable nerf, I guess, at the start, minus 18 damage.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that Venge has the damage bonus coming out for the Vengeance aura. So the Enfeeble definitely doesn't have as much impact as it would like. But again, Venge, single target, doesn't really have nukes to clear out woods or clear out creep waves. So she's limited to right clicks and only right clicks.
We have a VP mission here. They're on the move. They're hoping for some stacks, and look what they found. I thought that most of the stack had been taken out there from Loda just during the pause, but it looks like some goodies were left over, and Virtus.Pro were happy to snag it up. They're going to be in for an awful surprise. And Loda also getting charged in the mid lane. Not only will lose his stacks, he could lose his life here. There's going to be a bump in G. Misses the mid lane raise, but it looks like they're going to have a roll through from Lil, and they don't want to have any more of this. They see help is on the way, and Lil's going to be caught out. Turn around from Alliance here. They're going to get it. Right click in. Loda is not going to be losing his life. He runs the right direction with proper rotation. Alliance end up turning it around and getting a kill themselves.
Yep. And I'm just looking at this Broodmother here. She's actually at the top of the net worth, not on the top of the net worth Alchemist is, but top of the CS board. And she's got herself an Oblivion staff, one piece of her two for the Orchid as well. She's doing pretty darn good, I must say, against the Tidehunter.
She's been finding that nice spot behind the tower, avoiding actual confrontation with the Tidehunter himself. And mid lane again. Lil's in trouble. They got a nice stun, sap, and he is gone. And also, what happened at the same moment? They also got a kill on FNG. S4 picks that one up with not even his level 6 yet.
Yeah, they have a nice ward placed, and he simply got ran down with the Undying as well as the Queen of Pain. So not too many solutions there. Maybe he could have charged out, maybe he charged in. I'm not too sure, but 3-1 in favor of Alliance right now, and Alchemist still in the top of the net worth chart.
And as you said, DkPhobos is really just farming his way through. Oh, top lane though, that's when they're making it go on S4. They had the stun, not enough bashes. He's going to be able to blink away to safety and bottle up. So Fortunately, VP coming up short there. But bottom lane is definitely their best bet right now. They're going to be building up, hoping for a quick Orchid timing here. DK's doing his best to avoid Bulldog. Bulldog avoids him, but that means Bulldog could also get a quick Blink Dagger. Oh, wait, what's happening here? Near the river, snowball on through. No, they're not going to be able to get catch on S4. He's fine to blink away, and all is well.
Radiant's middle tower.
I'm really curious to see how G's going to build his hero here as well. As you mentioned with the mech, certainly a possibility. Helps their push early on, but really limits their transition to the mid-game stages, dealing with this Alchemist, possibly coming out with like a level 2 Chemical Rage by like 20 minutes. And I don't know. I just don't know if they'll have enough damage. You know what? He's actually picked up a Medallion, so he is going for the Solar Crest build coming out of Miracle. And if that's the case, you know, this SF, if he doesn't build damage, he actually bought a Buckler now. He's going to do even less work against the Alch, and I fear for that.
They're going to get a hold of S4 in that top lane. The 3 converge, and this time the little lady is not going to be able to blink away. And Virtus.Pro are going to be able to get a grab. Push themselves up now 3-2. Loda, look at this. He has an Invis rune. He's putting it to work here. Gets the stun on the Silent. He's looking to go for the core takedown here, and it looks like it's going to be the case. Extra additional brain sap damage. Now the Nightmare is leveled from Akke. We'll use it onto Lil, hoping to stall a bit of time. Wait for the stun. The stun's online now. He's going to pop the bottle now. Will he be able to connect? No, Snowball. With that, a turnaround. Lil should be able to walk away from trouble. So they're only going to take the 1 life here. Alliance pull ahead now 4-2. And you're right, G. It's going to be going for the mech. And I agree with you. I fear for the lack of damage this team is going to have into their mid-game transition, where you're going to be dealing with, you know, soon to be a Ravage on your hands and an Alchemist who's just 2-3 steps ahead. Mid lane.
It's really like a lot of timing related issues, right? With the mech, they can definitely get 1 or 2 towers that they shouldn't be able to get otherwise, just because they have the effective HP in the entire team. But this Broodmother is still on a time bomb as well. You know, no matter how well you do against the Tidehunter in the lane, the issue is that you'll never be able to push high ground. And in Dota, with the heroes that scale and whatnot and all these things, you have to eventually be able to break high ground. So even with the Orchid coming out, you know, Tidehunter is not a hero that cares too much about it, because the more damage you do, the more likely you're gonna pop the Kraken Shell and allow him to remove the debuffs, such as the Orchids. So yeah, again, I think the fears still stand for them, despite the fact that they have 2 of the 3 top net worth heroes on their team.
So what's that mean? Broodmother gets an Orchid and is like, I can't even use this on the Tidehunter in my lane. I got to start going elsewhere. That means she has to step away from the bottom lane, or maybe she's holding it out for someone else to come to that bottom lane. I don't know how many fight opportunities are going to be there, or how many Alliance are going to present for this Broodmother to take advantage of, so can't help but even question the build-up a bit. If she wanted to be more split-push heavy, you know, we've seen those Necro Book Broodmothers from time to time, but, you know, this time going with the Orchid, it's like, yeah, she kind of wants to fight, and actually, look at this. She is near the mid lane. They're flirting with opportunities to get a setup onto Alliance. I just don't know how easy they're going to come.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Alliance wants to give him the light of day, and Loda's going to try to stack up the woods. I guess he was a little bit slow on that. Maybe he just wanted to farm. Regardless, with double damage and Solar Crest, say goodbye to these neutrals.
I mean, they could even make an early move onto Roche if the opportunity presents itself. I mean,
yeah, if they can fight behind the Bulldog's Blink Dagger, which is actually coming out now on the back of, how many Ancient stacks is that? 3, 4? Looks like 4 stack.
Oh, it's a big one.
Yeah.
Oh, he certainly got it. It's the same time as the mech on G, so it's gonna be it's a bit sticky. He'll have the mech to shrug off the Ravage there, but it might just do enough work. You know, you don't expect Brood to have a serious army with her. Spirit Breaker is, you know, still level 5, doesn't have the Nether Strike yet. This is gonna be an interesting clash, and I wager it's something Alliance are gonna be looking to go for, because
oh yeah, for sure. Offensive capability versus a defensive reactive one, where the offense has the first shot, the initiation. I would agree. With the Queen of Pain burst, man, like they're gonna be able to drop like 2 to 3 targets if they really committed.
But look at this. I was like, they smoked up and moved, and you know, as we're talking about that, it's like exactly Virtus.Pro are looking to take action, but they're moving into the pit, and they're gonna be able to take this one behind the back of Alliance. And what are Alliance doing in the meantime? Just kind of farming on the side. Akke's camped to see if anyone shows up. They clearly don't have the idea that this is happening, and they're not punishing it by making an advancement elsewhere. They're starting to creep on this top tier 1, but they haven't even started any damage on it at all.
Yeah, it's a nice sneak Roche for sure, but I think this is one of those Roshan's that Alliance see and they're like, okay, they have it for 5 minutes, but we're still going to fight, because if we kill their teammates, we can probably kill the Shadow Fiend a second time. Because the SF doesn't have BKB, so whether he spawns a second time or not, they'll still have enough disables to follow up and lock him down. But in the meantime, they are somewhat wary as they're rotating to themselves to top and saying, hey, it's time to start moving together for the time being. And it's not a bad choice, of course. I do think Akke might be in trouble if he sticks around too long at bottom, because he doesn't have any vision, and they're flanking him from behind.
Wow, this is a deep flank. Way behind. Even the tier 2, Akke, he's in trouble. Yep, G's going to be there. Yeah, I thought about using the ult, but they realized that is not necessary. And it looks like they're going to be going for a possible trade here. Advancement on the tier 2, while Alliance are working their way through the tier 1 here in the top lane.
Yeah, I think he wanted to pull the creep wave from the tower at bottom, but what he should have recognized, I think, is if there's a Broodmother there, and assuming that they were checking items for the first 10 minutes of the game, they would know the Brood's been going for an Orchid and she hasn't been showing herself for a while. It's like a very risky thing to do no matter what, and that tower was not going to get saved. So it's kind of an unfortunate death, but an unnecessary one as well.
I'm curious that, I mean, at some point, Alliance, I'm sure we're going to be putting this Blink Ravage to use. It's you know, they are the more offensive lineup at this point, but it looks like they're just kind of taking things easy or almost happy to play the economy game and out-farm.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I thought they would really go for it as well, but given their positioning and things, like, it looks like they want to be really efficient around the map and sort of wait out for an Aegis as Loda gets stunned, but there is no swap. They are respecting the Solar Crest plus the Chemical Rage regen.
But, like, they're not respecting the overall lineup to be like, we need to be worried about in your fight. They want to fight, and G's like, I'm happy to run in there. He soaks up a Ravage and a Brain Step. He has an Aegis, mind you. So they're trying to turn their target ascent into silent and take him out of the equation first and foremost. While this is happening, it looks like a mini skirmish is breaking out of the mid lane as they're going to be able to take out Kebap. But we go back to bottom as G unleashes the Requiem. A sidestep out from Bulldog, though, and they're going to be avoiding a lot of the damage. They are going to be taking down Kebap in the mid lane. So your Undying will fall, making it 2 down all day. On the side of Alliance, Virtus.Pro get the better of this trade, and this is something that they have started themselves. And they're not even going to poke at this mid-tier tier 2 tower. That's surprising to see Virtus.Pro doing so well. Was it Alliance bidding a bit too much onto G with his Aegis? But it seemed like necessary.
I think the move on G was fine, but I think they were miscoordinated. In the meantime, you fight in the middle.
Yeah, they're breaking on through. Loda here, potentially to be caught out as they snowball a truck on forward. Swap back, he goes down, jumping from Bulldog, but again, he has no Ravage. What a Sonic Wave, though. Serious work onto G. DkPhobos now decides he wants to go man mode here on the Bulldog, who's trying to just get those anchor smashes out, and they are able to get the bring down onto the Brood, and then it's going to be the takedown of the Spirit Breaker. Lil charging it after once the Walrus Punch, but the mech helps him out, and Alliance take a better fight their way, taking down 4.
Yeah, if you saw the course of the fight, there was that one time when you saw a Bulldog blink in and you said he had no Ravage, but with that Anchor Smash, not a single hero did damage to him for like 3 seconds. And as you said, with the follow-up on the mech as well as the Solar Crest coming out, honestly, this Tidehunter, it really, really is a problem. He's going to be doing, never mind the Ravage, he's going to be going in, and he's going to be doing 200 physical damage every 4 seconds. And the biggest issue for VP now is that they can't stop him, because if they use their fixed amount of spells that they have between the Vengeful Stuns or Spirit Breaker Charge or Tuskar spells, they're investing those spells to kill a hero that they cannot kill. And right now, this, again, it's just way too big of a problem. And it didn't pose itself before because Alliance were miscoordinated. They had 2 heroes at mid. S4 had the Yule Scepter to try and remove the Orchids, but it wasn't good enough because there were 2 stunners beside them. And they weren't going together on the Shadow Fiend. So I think the play at bottom was correct, but they were miscoordinated.
And if it's hard now, I don't imagine it's going to get much easier. It almost felt like, you know, Virtus.Pro were like, we got to get something done to assert our own dominance, otherwise Alliance are just going to ball out of control. And, well, that's what Lil's doing now, is they were desperately trying to get a hold of Gustav there, but he will be able to blink away. And, you know, we were suspecting if the team fight, a coordinated team fight was to break out, it would be Alliances. It turned out that way. There's just still lacking that bit of damage here. Even now, you know, G stepping off gets the Sage, which is probably the buildup, of course, for an S and Y, but only adds to his tankiness now. Don't get me wrong, with all those, you know, stolen souls, he hits pretty damn hard, but I just don't feel like it's going to be hard enough.
Yeah, it's just always a question of, do they have enough damage? Just missing that executing blow is my biggest concern.
We'll see here, another strong test. I mean, if Alliance take another big fight, they come out the victors. I don't imagine that this game is going to become any easier for Virtus.Pro. And they're going to continue to play the farming game. Solar Crest now done for Loda, and he goes for the Maelstrom here. So a little hybrid kind of a build, I guess. Not going with the mobility tool. Maybe doesn't feel it's too necessary. He has plenty on his team to initiate for him and kind of get the thing set up. So I suppose he feels confident he can walk in there and just knock everything down. And
oh, this Shadow.
They cross paths with Shadow Fiend. He goes for the invis here, but they got the dust. They're going to pop it, and now they're going to run him down. Even as Tombstone committed a snowball. This snowball came previous to the Ravage. He commits it regardless. They still are going to be able to bring down G. It looks like Lil's going to be the next target. They're already turning back, and that Tombstone has been just doing work the whole time, as you can see, and it will even slow down little FNG right there, and it is going to be Alliance taking that next big fight. They take down 3. They lose no one, and this is with a mistimed Ravage, mind you.
Yeah. Didn't even need Ravage for that one, really.
My, oh my. It's looking like Alliance are putting themselves in quite the commanding position at this point. It's turning into dire straits here for Virtus.Pro, and I don't know what that entails of. Brood shows himself a bit, but yeah, what will Plan B be for Virtus.Pro?
I think all they can do right now is just hold out, put some aggressive wards in the enemy woods to see if Alliance is there, because I guess they sort of didn't recognize that Alliance did like a 4 or 5 man smoke there, and that's something that's usually very obvious when you don't see enemy heroes on the map. And if you push in lanes or have deep jungle wards, you'll be always able to spot it out. So just get those vision up, and then just wait for the next Roshan, really. I don't see too many alternatives, because what just happened, as we say, for like the 3rd time, that was without Ravage. If a Ravage connects on like 2 to 3 heroes, that fight goes much cleaner in favor of Alliance.
And I can't help it. I hate when I cast these Virtus.Pro games and it doesn't work out. They've committed for something like the core Vengeful Spirit. And I just can't help but say, maybe this is not Silent's hero. I mean, this isn't
CIS thing, man.
This isn't a silent performance from me. Usually this guy is beating ass on Gyrocopter or whatever, and here he is, 2-1-1, and it feels like he's nerfed down. It almost feels like he's there to provide the extra damage for like their Shadow Fiend in this game.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't seem like the Silent style, but you know, he's going through the initiation of Virtus.Pro now, so I guess it's just something he might have to get used to under Captain FNG. I just don't feel like it's working this time, Claire. I'm sorry.
Oh, we'll see in due time. As many people have said, this is pretty much a prime example of why carry Vengeful Spirit is very limited to their devices. Little does VP know that they're running into 5 heroes now. They didn't drop a ward, but the fight's about to break out.
Oh man, FNG creeps in and he sees it's trouble ahead. No Ravage yet for at least 10 seconds. G pops the pre-Requiem here. Nurse down their damage, slows him down a bit. Bulldog eats an uppercut, but he's happy to shrug that one off. Now they turn back. He has a 4-staff now. They're like, come this way with the snowball closer to your team so we can get all of you together. And they're looking to go for Lil. Lil will be going down. 2 go down from Virtus.Pro, including FNG. All the cores and everyone else are just running for their lives here. Phobos hiding in his own web. They're on chase for spiders right now, but it's all Alliance doing the exterminating
Oh,
here.
he's getting them.
Oh, he got them. Oh.
We got a huge chunk of them there. It's just like a huge invasion of gold coming out with the Goblin's Greed.
Just classic Alchemist, you know. You click away, you click back, he's got a new frickin' item on his hands. He's got the Hyperstone now. He's almost got him. He's got the Mjolnir. It's ridiculous.
Honestly, playing Broodmother into Alchemist is very similar to playing Broodmother against Legion Commander. You know, you can maneuver, juke and jive all you want, utilize all your 500 APM skills. At the end of the day, one instance where they just cast their spells on you or you get caught off guard, and you're just going to lose out all the effectiveness that you had in the early mid stages. And Alk is just naturally very hard to play against with a Broodmother.
And you're playing a Broodmother with an Orchid in hopes that you're going to be using that Orchid to get quick silences and maybe a catch on a Queen of Pain. Not happening though. 1, 1, and 2 for this Brood. He is able to kind of be sneaky and get down that tier 1, but bottom and below, his team's in trouble. There's a Fiend's Grip coming out from Akke, and Lil will be going down again. I feel like I've said that a lot. He's 0-6 this game. An uncharacteristic game for Lil. Uncharacteristic game for Virtus.Pro altogether here. We'll have to see if there is going to be bounce back potential, but that opportunity gets thinner and thinner at this point. Now 14-7. I dare look at the early net worth graph, and at one point it was up for Virtus.Pro about 3K, but we're back towards Alliance's side. Only 1K in their favor. Claire, I'm a bit surprised by that. I guess there's some extra credit to Virtus.Pro for maybe just doing more of the farm on the map.
Yeah, it's I don't think it's too surprising. I do think it's very nice job of him. Personally, it is a Shadow Fiend and it is a Broodmother. If they don't feed too many deaths, they're probably going to be always top 3 in terms of net worth. But again, the lingering problem here is that even like this game, they need like a 5k or 50% net worth advantage in order to carry out the game or close out the game. And I just don't see the scenario of them getting that. They've been scouting out Roshan. I see the Sigil going in now as well to scout it out additionally. They'll probably ping it out in a moment's time, and when they do, they'll recognize that they have to go for it. But Alliance, if they decide to contest, again, it's like, what do you do against the high ground Tombstone, against the farm of Alliance?
Yeah.
These heroes coming in.
Oh, Phobos! Hey, he's putting that orc into use, and he quickly realizes he does not want to finish this. Uh-oh, S4's like, I'll take your babies!
Yeah. Nice.
Takes a good chunk of them, has that ag, so is happy to kind of chew through the small cooldown. And really, Phobos is not going to be getting anything out of that except handing over S4 some extra bits of gold. And well, the pre-steps here from Virtus.Pro, they've planned out some pretty aggressive wards. If you haven't seen, they did one to even block out the full camp down here. And FNG, unfortunately, caught on the wrong side of the river. Here comes a shard attempting to block some of them out, but it looks like it will help. And they'll be able to stay back and away.
Oh dear, S4.
And S4, what is he doing? You're late! Oh, Yules! Looks like he might be fine. Raised, he got glimmered even. He's going to be out. No trouble there, but it did force Alliance back. They're second-guessing going for the Roche. Oh, Loda not able to get the vision there to take down the Shadow Fiend, but on the other side, they are able to finish off FNG. Now, Alliance in a bit of a debacle. Do they push the lane? Do they go back for the Roche? And all the meanwhile, cheeky little Phobos over here is taking the tier 2 and is starting to push towards the Alliance base.
But little does he know, S4 is here with an Invis and is probably going to be able to clear out all the spiders.
Oh, Phobos actually. He's like, I'm going to go with the team. I want to help them.
Oh, S4. He realizes all those spiders coming out of the web now. He wants to go for them.
Yeah. Moves in, gets a ton of golds for it, but that means he's not going to be able to partake in a fight if one's to break out here. From Virtus.Pro, who want one, they know S4's not there. They're running. Here comes FNG, TP's in, they got the dust. They're going to make a move on the Loda, hoping to take him down. Follow-up, Ravage is going to be there, but a nicely timed BKB from Phobos will keep his eyes on the prize. They want to take down the Beast, they'll get him down. Now Bulldog dishing out those Acre smashes on the sidelines. FNG looks like he'll be going down, try to charge out, but is going to get bopped down in the end. 2 down from Alliance here. They pop the mech. They're committing on forward. Bulldog's going to be going down. They get the Tombstone down with G's help, and S4 is finally able to show up, but it's too late for him. He's the lone survivor here, Virtus.Pro. Huge fight for them. They recognize their one opportunity to take one, and they get, like, what, the first promising fight this game, and a follow-up move-in on the Roche.
Yeah, that was you could say that was an elaborate bait coming out of DkPhobos. They basically traded probably like 400 gold worth of spiders for a team fight that they really needed this game. And as you said, man, they found it. Flanked with the TPs coming from the tier 1 tower at bottom on the tower side, which is still alive. Snowball into Roche to help the Broodmother get out, and looks like Roshan's about to go down in VP's favor again for the second time this game.
This is big. Had Alliance taken this Aegis here. It could have been their game, but Virtus.Pro still holding on. Now with Aegis in hand here, and a BKB complete for G. It's like a whole new team right now ready to take on Alliance.
Yeah, this is definitely their best timing this game for sure. With this BKB and the Aegis, they have to try and make a high ground push. As we saw in that last fight, their best approach to the game is definitely to split them up and pick them apart. Because in a 5v5 engagement, it's probably unlikely, even with the BKBs, that you can deal with the aggression coming out of the entirety of Alliance. But when it comes to high ground pushes, it's kind of like an inevitable circumstance. So playing that with new BKBs and Aegis is their best bet. Oh my gosh, another Sonic Wave at the middle line.
Yeah, he's just so thirsty. Well, he's got the gold now, 2K. What is the next item for S4 here? Now that he can chunk out Sonic Waves like it's nothing, it looks like maybe an AC is in order for him.
Yeah, looks like AC or Shivas. I'm personally unsure, but possibly. I think Shivas would be good this game, just to slow up the attack speed of all these single target centric cores and all these strength heroes as well.
They're making a move on the Silent here. Loda's going to be able to get the catch with the stun. S4 leads in. Shadow strikes. Silent slowly running away. Has to be popping the BKB.
Oh my
but look at that guy. He hits like a truck. Oh, God. Loda's going to get back, but he's going to get swapped back from Silent. Silent! Oh, he's not hitting him! He's not going to get him down. The charge through will be there, though. Turn around, S4, huge Sonic Wave, but the damage may have been done. And VP are here and ready to play.
That just happened.
That looked like it was going to be the easiest pickoff of a Vengeful Spirit ever. They treated that as if they were ganking like a support Vengeful Spirit, like, this is no problem, little lady. And then she pops her BKB, turns around, the team is there for her, and it turns into destruction.
Yeah, I didn't watch it early enough, so I'm not sure if he charged the stun full duration or not, but it definitely shouldn't have been that hard. I guess the end result is they might lose the tier 3 tower at top for this, and maybe Raxus.
Another Sonic Wave from S4, jump in, anchor smash, Bulldog trying to nerf down that damage as much as possible because G is a siege in full here, still with Aegis in hand, happy to trunk down that tier 3 tower. Virtus.Pro on the up and up. Highest net worth of the game so far, a 5K net worth advantage. And it's DkPhobos at top of the net worth over the Mighty Alchemist by about over 2K.
Yeah, Loda's, with that third death, you can see that he's definitely not having a good time. Even with the Mjolnir, the impact of the items definitely diminished because they have all these BKBs, and of course BKBs don't really care about the Mjolnir procs nor the charges. So, yeah, I'm actually wondering if Mjolnir was the right choice this game. I wanted, hold that thought, S4 at mid.
Yeah, he is able to Yule's up, Glimmer, avoid the trouble. Oh, the tombstone goes up, but it's going to be quickly going down here. They are going to be taking down Tusk in the meantime, but a BKB is going to be popped from G. Oh my! The Requiem damage on the Loda just annihilates him. They're also going to be getting the takedown, it looks like Akke. Here's Virtus.Pro looking to possibly close the game out altogether. Loda forced to buy out, and now S4 caught into the mix here. Another Yule's for him, but he's got no more mana, and he is done for. Phobos cleans that one up. And this is it, the final hurrah. This is the buyback of Bulldog and Loda. Virtus.Pro composed and disciplined. We still got to get a tier 2, fellas. They step back, they pick that one up, and it looks like they're going to make their move to top lane.
Yeah, they right now they actually have no solutions to BKBs because for some reason every time Loda comes in and he's starting to channel stun or he doesn't have ultimate up, and the next word's been hold that thought. Ravage.
Huge Ravage in from Bulldog. Follow up Sonic Wave. If they don't get the finish here, it's not going to be enough in the end. Silent looks like he could be first going now. Makes him work for it a bit. And now the second life of G. He looks to try to impose his will on the S4 here, but he's got to make his way through Loda, and he can't do it. He's going to be going down, but Phobos doing his thing. Not going to commit for the finish on the Loda. Loda's going to be able to be forced away to safety. And now comes Tusk. Lil's trying to help out, slow him down with the shards, but Alliance still on the chase here. Blink in from S4, and FNG, will he be able to charge away? Yes, he will. He's out from trouble. S4's trying to make chase, but it looks like they're going to make it out. They will lose their cores as casualties, but...
Oh, he's going to stop at a regen room.
How nice.
Yeah, how fortuitous, indeed. Blessing from the Dota gods, and man, these events, it's definitely not how I thought they would transpire at this stage in the game. I really thought the Alchemist would be much bigger than this now, and he's still struggling to finish his BKB. I mean, not struggling anymore, he just picked up a bounty rune, I guess. But when he has that, his fight will be much better, because right now he's just melting to these Requiems and stuns coming out of Vengeful Spirit and Spirit Breaker charges. It's just way too much of a nuisance for him to be able to do anything in the fights.
And I normally look to him to be like the hard hitter, but I can't help but notice just how freaking hard DkPhobos is just hitting now on this Broodmother. I mean, at first I was like almost scoffing at the idea. It's like, oh, he built up a fighting build, but who the hell is he going to fight in this game? Now he can take on almost the best of anyone, especially in a one-on-one for sure. And I was going to say, if only he had a bit more utility or armor to help out, and it looks like he is going to be filling that void now. He stopped off for just a trusty Hyperstone, but it looks like he will be converting it all the way into an AC. So with this extra bit of armor, I mean, he did seem a bit frail in some of these huge skirmishes, but with this, I mean, I think the Spider is the one to look out for sure.
Oh, yeah. If Broodmother's at top of net worth and she has like 4 or 5 fighting items, she's definitely one of the strongest heroes on the map. I actually think Broodmother with Blink Dagger is usually very powerful, just because of how easily it lets you get into the fight, and you just want to get on top of somebody and slow them down and right-click them down with ultimate. But speaking of which, S4 might get right-clicked down here if he's not too keen on the...
Yeah, but the team is also coming from behind, and Akke doesn't know that Phobos was sitting there in the web ready to go. He does have the Glimmer. He's going to be fine for now, but now he looks... And this is what I'm talking about, man. Look at the Spider. Luckily, turn around. Oh, they're going to be nether striking down Akke, who had a great Fiend's Grip on the Phobos, so... Now snowballed up, Lil there to save him. They move back in and re-engage. Silence here, he pops his BKB, and now the damage to be coming out now. Phobos caught in the mix with a couple of bruisers here. Loda trying to fight him down. Phobos trying to hold on, and he's going to win. Loda's going to be going down there, and this is it. Silent G and company are just going to right-click through Alliance, and since they already used those buybacks, there's not going to be much to stop Virtus.Pro from closing out this game. As for the lone survivor, able to TP away there at the end, but he is all they got to defend here. And Clairvoyance, this may be the game for Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate it came down to this. I think that fight too, it should have looked a little bit different. So Phobos initially BKB'd when he first got caught out, and his BKB duration was over. Now Silent and SF were coming in on the form of Vengeful Spirit and Shadow Fiend. They did BKB, but Bulldog hesitated on the Ravage and ended up not casting it at all because he thought he wouldn't be able to hit them. But if he just killed the Broodmother and allowed the Alchemist to live, maybe the Alchemist would have gotten away, or possibly not, but it would have been something. And I think people were just like withholding spells too much in general this game, and possibly like a lot of bad engagements really coming out of Alliance. So VP really snowballed after a couple fights, especially since that Roshan.
Ouch.
Wow, simple, right?
Yeah, that's makes it look really easy at this point, and I was with you the whole way through. I felt like Alliance had a great team thrown together. The always scary, you know, Agnum's Undying in the late game, but you know, Alchemist just didn't seem to be as big of a threat as we usually see him, and that could be credit to Virtus.Pro and adding pressure across the map and, you know, stumping us a bit. Always happy. And here's Loda just, you know, obviously they're already looking to the next game, but they're like, well, we've got to go out without a rumble, of course, and oh, they're done. They're throwing pillows at this point. Bulldog gets off one last mighty Ravage, but the game is over, and it's going to be Virtus.Pro taking the first game of this best of 3.
Yeah, that was rough for Alliance past 20 minutes, but VP, as you mentioned, man, SF and the Broodmother always keeping the top of the net worth. They really did play it well, and I didn't think I saw too much of the impact coming out of the Vengeful Spirit, but it did give them the early Roche. And again, DkPhobos, man, he really did play this game extremely well, and I think the stats reflect that as well.
And you would have thought it would have been a hard game for him with the lane that was set up against him, the mighty Tidehunter. So very impressive stuff from Virtus.Pro. We'll see if they can keep the trend going or if Alliance will be able to stay alive and get a win in Game 2 to take it to a full 3-game stretch. This is KotlGuy for Beyond the Summit and be joined by Clairvoyance. We'll be back in just a moment for Game 2. We'll see you soon. Well, hello everybody and welcome back. It's Star Series 13, the 13th season of frickin' Starlighter. Can you believe it? It's been going on forever. But here we are. It's our third day of Phase 2 action. We're getting down to some of the best European teams out there. And in Group A, we got Alliance versus Virtus.Pro. This is game number 2 now. Game 1, very promising stuff from Virtus.Pro. They ran again the core Vengeful Spirit. And this time was silent, and they made it work in the end. They had a better fighting build, and they punished Alliance for not being able to capitalize on a very kind of greedy-oriented Tidehunter Alchemist kind of style lineup. So here we are now into Game 2. I'm KotlGuy for Beyond the Summit. Going to be joined again by Clairvoyance on the radio. And here we are, Claire, and wouldn't you believe it? The first time we've seen in the past 2 days, I want to say, a Wisp going to be picked up now in tandem with the Tiny on Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, and I think we all know, for those of you who follow VP, that Lil plays a very, very fine Wisp, and I think FNG can too if he does opt for it. But Wisp Tiny, always a potent combo that you never want to rule out for.
Man, we don't get to see it very often. Maybe they just felt for a moment that Virtus.Pro, I guess they haven't ran a Wisp in a while. I know FNG used to be like the big Wisp player for quite a while, but I guess they've never been bestowed upon the opportunity to play it again, so they'll dust it off and have a go at it. And you know, also G, I don't see him play Tiny a whole lot, but we did get to see him play, I believe, the other day, the mid lane Tiny, which is now all the rage for a lot of these teams, and something a bit unfamiliar here for Virtus.Pro, but as they've shown, it doesn't matter. In the face of adversity, they'll be able to pull back a big game. And for Alliance, they get the prize Doom, of course, and they'll be following it up with another Bane performance here, possibly from Akke. So
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know. After that Game 1, I'm sure they took quite a while to get into the lobby
5
for Game 2, as you
remaining.
saw. I hope that, you know, psychologically they're in line here. They need a win here, otherwise OG is
Reserve
watching
time.
from the sidelines, and they're happy to see Alliance lose because that means it's a better chance for them to, you know, weasel their way back into an upper bracket.
Yeah, and well, you know, you mentioned the lobby. The nice thing was the stand-in was in here early, so it wasn't a player swap of sorts. And again, we'll just have to see if they're back for the first time today.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I think it's that other. It's every other day, and this is one of those off days here for Alliance so far. But
Yeah,
hopefully, I will be wrong, and they'll come back. And for the sake of Alliance fans out there, they'll have a very strong Game 2 and Game 3. I, of course, am a very unbiased caster, as we all know. But third ban here on the Viper. Obviously, could be an Achilles heel for Tiny, being kited very easily, and obviously just can be a lane dominator in that sense. Something Virtus.Pro don't have to deal with. So that hero is going to be taken care of. One thing that comes to mind that could be good against the Tiny, and I know Alliance have ran in the past Clairvoyance, and maybe I want you to give your 2 cents. What's your opinion on the Bristleback matchup if it was mid versus a Wisp Tiny?
Oh, it's obviously I would say a relic of the past. Something that, if I recall correctly, Secret actually did pretty frequently back in the pre-TI5 era. And it's definitely very strong, because the Bristleback is one of the few heroes that can just win the matchup, and sometimes by winning he'll actually kill the IO or something like that, and then he'll zone out the Tiny because he has this EXP level advantage that a dual laning line versus a solo lane would not have. So it's definitely possible. I guess the downside to it is that if the lane doesn't really go amazing for Bristleback, and nowadays people they become a lot better with the Tiny tossback combo, where you can just toss back a melee hero into tower range, and most of the time they'll just die to the tower and right clicks. So it's always somewhat scary running that into a Wisp Tiny these days, and you can get exposed for it. So I'm not sure if that's the option Alliance want to go, especially.
We don't have to worry about it anymore, Claire.
Yeah.
They banned it.
There you go. I guess they are somewhat hesitant. I don't really blame them with the Undying pick. Bristleback's very good at sniping out tombstones because he's just so tanky in the mid game. But there it is.
And I wonder also, because I can't but feel like I wonder if S4 as the captain and drafter, you know, it's different for every team, and Alliance are one of those teams where their core mid laner is also their captain and drafter. So how much does he think about his own lane setup? He's like, I don't really want to go against that. You know, I'll throw Loda there in the mid lane with a Bristleback, and I'll go elsewhere. I mean, he kind of did that last game with the Alchemist. So I wonder if that's much of a factor, or if it's just Virtus.Pro, like, thinking that's something S4 could do, and they'll ban out the Bristle. We'll see. But Undying going to be picked up. So Wind Ranger, I guess, comes into possible thought. I don't know if I've seen S4 play it a whole lot, but if he can, that could be a good option for them. You know, maybe in the mid lane. It still would be difficult to have to go against something like a Tiny Wisp, but maybe if they give her the +1 of a Bane, they'll at least have her, you know, have her at least hold her own. For now, though, they step off for a Dazzle.
Yeah. Again, not a combo that's quite as potent as the Wyvern Dazzle. Still pretty strong. It does have its weaknesses as the game progresses, because these heroes are defensive in their own rights, but play a sort of different style where Dazzle doesn't want to play too aggressive early. He can, but Bane is much more reliable in that sense, just because of how tanky he is in the early stages. And then they're still also going up against an Undying, so the potential of just getting snowballed against is something that they have to watch out for. You did mention the Wind Ranger. I do think it's actually a really good pickup this game. It's actually quite strong against the Wisp Tiny at mid, because even if you ever get tossed back, you can just Wind Run, you'll dodge all right clicks, and part of that hero's, I guess, sort of issues slash breaking points is that it's just like impossible to kill at one point, depending on what you have. And then she just turns on you. Like in the mid late game, he just shackles you once, and with Aghanim Scepters plus 1 item or something like that, she'll always burst you down. And that kind of design is like, I would say it's pretty Ice Frog design type of thing, where it's like one hero excels at something but does not excel at the other. In this case, it's like she's kind of like a master of all trades, and she should really not be.
And that other wonderful trait she gets that a lot of people say thanks like Ice Frog for is her like ridiculous 30-degree but can sometimes be 90-degree shackle shots.
Shackles are honestly they're kind of off. I'm sure the numbers are fine. And I'm
something's
sure, like,
weird, yeah.
Yeah, it's something's off. Like
I've seen like shackles not connect on like a sprouted target, and then like I'll see shackles connect when it's like, are you? Like, how did that work? What kind of Ice Frog protractor is this that they allow this stuff to happen? So I wonder if it's something that will get his attention for the next patch, or something it's a pretty unique mechanic for the game. So I'm sure it has a lot of fancy numbers and coding behind it, but I wonder if they'll ever find a way to kind of horn that in a bit better. But I do want to also say Tusk completely ignored up to this point, a rare sight in itself, but Virtus.Pro will be picking up the Gyrocopter, and Alliance are going to respond with what looks like the Loader Juggernaut.
Yeah, Tusk is definitely one of those heroes that if you pick the hero, you definitely need some complementary
Reserve
heroes
time.
with it, just because of how Snowball works and how the terrain block coming out of the ice shards work. It's no longer that jack of all
10
trades that can be
seconds
placed
remaining.
anywhere on the map and is like super effective. It does get banned out here as the fifth pick,
Turn to
but
pick.
Alliance I think actually have a lot of good tools against Tusk. If it's not the natural tankiness coming out of Juggernaut and Doom, it's the Dazzle being able to physical bomb him and or Bane Dazzle combination of just being able to turn the fights with Graves and
Yeah.
defensive spells. Yeah, so I don't know. It's not something that I would personally think that they would be scared of. But if they do want a Wind Ranger, it could be somewhat disruptive.
Do you think S4 would play a Huskar in the mid lane
10
at all?
seconds remaining.
It seems like a plausible option, but Huskar is not something I see Alliance do at
5
all.
seconds.
Yeah.
remaining.
I don't think with Dazzle it's always a possibility. No denying that. But
And you're against a Gyro, not very effective against a Huskar. He can take care of a Tombstone pretty easily. He won't have too much trouble handling a Wisp, jumping onto the sideline Wisp. I mean, Tiny could be a little bit of a problem in the Craggy there, but I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, it's more like if they pick it, they definitely don't want to get to that stage in the game where Tiny becomes a problem. So in that sense, I could see the pick, but I don't know, man. I think they're gonna go standard here and just go for like Lena's a possibility as well. I don't think I
yeah.
like the pick that much, but it's decent because they did take out the Tuskar, which is one of the hardest Lena counters. Like Lena's a glass cannon hero. You never want heroes on top of you, and Tusk is just so exceptional at doing that. So I think maybe Lena. I think Wind Ranger is actually the best pick, as you mentioned earlier. But it is another Intel hero to their semi-Intel heavy lineup with the 2 Intel supports.
We'll see. I mean, I wonder if it's something even Virtus.Pro could be considering here as a possible early response too. But outside of that, they certainly will need to get their Phobos hero in itself. And in a matchup where you're going to be dealing with possibly a Jug and maybe even a Bane in your face or slash Dazzle, it could be tricky here for Phobos. I mean, Brood
Maybe
is still
Brood
out
Mother
there.
again.
Yeah, Brood is still out there. Might not be terrible.
Magnus,
10
Brood,
seconds remaining.
they actually have a lot of options, I think. And I guess that's why the Tusk ban, really, because they were
5
scared of a
seconds
3-position
remaining.
hero that could really disrupt their flow. But again, they have a lot of options. Centaur,
Yeah, we don't get to
oh,
see
is
this
Magnus
guy.
being what
Turn to
happened?
pick.
I love Centaur Warrunner. I feel like we don't get to see him enough. I mean, it could be justified, but let's see. Why is Centaur here and now? We obviously know he offers unique utility now with his Agnum Scepter, but it still seems a bit luxury for the hero after he has to get the base items, usually like, you know, a Blink Dagger, obviously. Sometimes he has to be the one to get the mech. You know, I don't know if
10
he'll be the one in this case or
remaining.
not, depending on the farm that Undying's able to get. But with a Wisp on your team, it might not be very
5
much.
seconds remaining.
But what about in this case? Is it to just kind of engage, or is it more
Reserve
so to
time.
maybe disengage if trouble shows up? I mean, imagine
think-
if someone gets doomed and they are able to
5
just run the hell out of
seconds
there. That's great.
Yeah. I think it's like that. I think Centaur used to be picked as a counter to Panda, and there's a Bat Rider, S4 Bat Rider. Actually, we've seen him do this against Wiz Tiny before. It's gone both ways. He's dominated the matchup, and he's gotten dominated before as well. But yeah, it's like back in the day when you pick the Centaur against Panda, it's like Panda claps and splits. Well, by the time the split's finished, you know, you have all these heroes moving at 522 movement speed. They're out of there, one screen away, and Panda split can't do anything. And I think the concept here is similar. There's not a lot of lockdown coming from Alliance, even with the Bat Rider pickup. So
Yeah, this is going to be a bit interesting. Of all the people out there, though, S4, we got to give him credit. He plays one of the best, if not the best, mid lane Bat Riders you could ask for. I mean, it's a legacy of the past, I guess, but we'll see how it's going to match up here.
10 seconds remaining.
It's just maybe something he feels that he has had that matchup against the
5
Tiny Wisp and
seconds
feels pretty
remaining.
comfortable with. The Bristleback wasn't there as an option anymore. We toyed with the idea of a Huskar, but I'm very anxious to see how he's going to be making this Bat Rider work. If it falls out and doesn't seem to work, could lead to a bit of shortcomings there. So with that underway, we are going to be into game number 2. Virtus.Pro are going to be opting for the Radiant this side, and I'm sure Silent's going to be, maybe feeling better at ease. Last game, he was tackling the Core Vengeful Spirit, something that I'm sure he personally doesn't have a lot of experience with, but this is a hero that he is just known for, tried and true, and yesterday even had a solid gyrocopter performance, so he's going to be in a bit of his comfort zone here, and we'll have to see. One more win
Yep.
from them, and they close out this best of 3.
And given the movements that are happening right now, of course, VP is just content breaking the trees at the middle line here. The Radiant Crew Camp 1 and 2. I think both teams are going to scout each other respectively. Yeah, as the pings are coming out. It looks like Alliance want to take advantage of their early game supports and aggressive trialing to an extent. And VP is sort of recognizing that even though they can fight it up with the Undying, I guess they don't want to offboard because they want to have the Wisp Tiny mid, which will make a 2-2-1 lane setup. So it looks like they want to just avoid Alliance's trialing for the time being.
And Alliance are shifting a lot back towards the top lane. Like, they want to fight so bad that they'll even come up to this top rune now and see if they can square up. But I don't know. Virtus.Pro have a very solid level 1 fight in themselves. You're talking early Rocket Barrage. Wisp Tiny moving in on your butt. Here we go, Loda. Get the hell out of there. Looks like he'll be able to run away. We'll need a few smacks on the way out, but it will be both runes going for Virtus.Pro.
Oh, and Phobos, I think he's about to die.
Oh, will he pay his life for it? Yeah, he will. He will. 4 stacks there at the end, and AdmiralBulldog lands the last right click, and the mighty Phobos will go down. I don't know. Was it worth or not to get the bounty hunter, the bounty rune? Oh, he'll be able to return back to the bottom lane here. So an aggro lane setup here for Virtus.Pro.
Yep, and you know what? Bulldog, he didn't even skill his Devour.
What the hell?
Pardon me. He didn't skill Scorched Earth earlier, so now he has Devour as well.
Nice. Oh, well, he'll go. And he's got a sweet little War Stomp creep now. He'll take them back to lane. Couldn't help but react. G was trying to go for a nice toss-back play, ended up tossing back the Wisp. And was just trying to get a setup here onto Akke, but now is going to be juggling with this Batrider Bane lane. Not too happy about it, but he has prepared a bit, Clairvoyance. He has the early wand already with 5 charges on it, so it's nice to see. He puts the respect to Batrider, knowing that he has the opportunity to build up a good fail-safe option just in case he needs to burst and bring out some damage or at least save his own life.
In the meantime, we see the dual lane versus dual lane at top here between the Undying, Gyrocopter, as well as the Juggernaut and the Dazzle. I think the Gyrocopter is doing pretty decently right now. 2-2-4 CS and has 2 creeps coming in as well still. So it looks like they're pulling the side as well, and it might be a little bit for not.
They got this time though, mid lane. They toss Akke all the way back. That's what he was shooting for. And this time they have the body blocks, but the sleep is going to be there from Akke. He puts Lil down, and with that he's going to be able to make his way out. But those are those things you got to worry about. I just happened to just quickly glance there, and he just threw that one back like a football.
It's going to be a hard lane to really find kills on either sides, really. Batrider Bane versus Wisp Tiny, and Tiny has 10 magic stick charges now from all the Napalm sticky casts. FNG is going to steal the top rune here, really nicely done by him. Are they going to try to run down the bat? I guess not. Nice rune by Lil, though.
Still leaves the DD at the bottom. No one has acknowledged it yet, but it looks like Bulldog is waiting to run that way after this next creep. But he may also be too late for it. Lil is already en route, so he'll be able to pick up that one here on his Wisp. And this comes after being able to fuel up G quite a bit. How the stacks coming along. He's got 2 stacks there, 2 stacks there. Everything's in order. Top lane, though, is when Chaos is breaking out. Rocket Barrage in through Silent. Lots of weak damage. They're able to take down the Undying. And it looks like Alliance will be able to walk away with just their head held high at that point. So, quick pick for them puts them up 2-0. Mid lane, toss into S4, but just a little bit of harassment.
I think G might have considered using his magic stick a little bit earlier. I mean, he's already gotten so many napalm charges used to him before that. Since then, I mean, that it really would have been worth it. But regardless, still 10 stick charges to sit on, and S4 will always see that and recognize that he can't really make an aggressive play that can commit to an executing blow anyway. So I guess all the action really is happening at top so far.
Bottom lane is where we'll see a little bit. Moving in, Phobos gets the stun. FNG shows himself, but of course this is Doom after all. He's now level 4. He's got Scorched Earth leveled up, and it's going to be really hard to beat through this guy at this point. The extra move speed, of course, mighty regen. Mid lane, Alliance, S4, tossed back near the tower. Beautifully done, and oh! He's going to be able to heal on up. Tower's doing serious work. They're on chase, though. Can they get him? A man on the run here.
Oh.
Looks like he's going to find a little safety zone. He does not have a TP, though, so he will deny himself after buying out.
Yeah, pretty nicely done by him, actually. I can see his build now, too. It's the 2-1-1 build. Ever since the nerfs on the Batrider, everybody's been doing different builds. No longer people do max the Firefly, especially if you're not laning really well. You want to get the sticky napalm and get the best value out of it early. And then eventually, when they have stacks, they'll still be able to farm it up with the napalm charges and the Firefly. So, still got set up for a good mid game coming in here. 4 minutes in, still very early, but taking some harassment now.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, I'm happy to deplete my mana a bit. Lil's got the bottle. He'll share that love with me, I'm sure. And
Yep.
Nothing will be lost. Wonderful stuff. Computer would advance on in. He's 18-5. High CS right now, though, is Centaur having that lane to himself. Certainly paying off. 21-6. He already has Tranquils. 400 gold. He's on a good pace here to pick up a nicely timed Blink Dagger if he continues to kind of, you know, get this lane to work with. I mean, he's against the Doom, but he's been outclassing Bulldog just a little bit. Whoa, what's happening mid lane? Another move on to S4. Behind the tower forces out a rotation here from Kebap, and with that, it'll be enough to kind of scare them away. Virtus.Pro just not afraid to assert their dominance here, especially in the mid lane.
Oh, looks like they want to reinitiate. I think S4 is possibly not expecting this one.
Leads in, avalanche toss combo. They even get a little bit of the crush. And now they're going to commit the tombstone. S4 is definitely done for. Kebap knows he can't help him with no mana and will turn away. Finally pays off there for Virtus.Pro as they finally get themselves on the board, taking down S4.
He did have a mid lane ward planted, so it's definitely like a lack of paying attention to kind of thing, because he thought the engagement was done. He thought that VP were just going to return to the safety of their side of the map and farm. Stampede coming out.
Now it's where the hell, why is it? And maybe bottom lane to disengage from Bulldog, I suppose. But
oh yeah, I think what happened was they were chasing him down when he had no mana, but he used his mango and then he scorched earth, and then they said, "Oh, scorched earth. Looks like we can't kill him anymore."
Yeah. Ran back out. Looks like Alliance are going to be back on a little bit of stacking duty here.
Oh, they're going to toss the Centaur.
Oh, the poor man's Blink Dagger. I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Centaur bombs here.
It has been scouted out though. There is a ward again, but unfortunately for them, not only does the ward scout them out, but S4 recognizes this and is just going to farm up the woods.
They know though. They're moving in. They know something's up. Lil's going to peek his little faceless ball head in. Sees nothing. S4 has to step back and away here. Oh, is this going to be a stack stealing operation?
Oh, S4, this is so cocky.
Oh, he's thinking about dancing.
Oh,
Oh, there's the
S4.
toss. He gets bumped back, so the stun's not going to be following up here, and it's actually Alliance who have an advantage in numbers, but here comes the cavalry of Virtus.Pro, and the tombstone's going to be committed here. Loda looking to kind of spin up and get the damage here onto the Wisp, but has to turn back. G commits on him with the stun toss combo. Is it going to be enough? No! Oh no! Omni Slash flies out, barely holding alive thanks to Lil here, and they turn their attention onto Loda. They chop him off. And after the blood is all dropped, only one man goes down, and that man is Loda. And
Wow.
it's a high commitment from both teams. A 4-4.
Definitely didn't expect that outcome, even from the very start. S4 with a really, really brilliant flame break, recognizing the timing of that landing on the toss and just disrupting the flow of the Centaur spellcast on the hoof stomp. But they're going to go for it again.
Boom, on mid lane. There's the stun, there's the chop, and they're even, look at that.
That easy.
The getaway car. Oh, gets slept up here. But Akke's not going to do anything. He's just like, oh, go to sleep. I hate that you just did that. But they did it. And Virtus.Pro now
Honestly,
on the
they
assault.
have Dar at the middle lane planted for a very long time throughout this entire night. I'm not really sure if this should be happening the way it is. And Bulldog gets that kill.
Yep. We catch the action bottom lane. Simple Doom chase in. Rotation from FNG. Thinks he can help out, but now he realizes he's in a bad one-on-one, and he goes down. Bulldog gets a double kill on his Doom, and he walks away alive and well. But look at this. Grand Theft stacks happening on the other side of the world. It looks like Lil is trying to steal them out with buddy G. We'll need to use G to tether away. Akke catches him sleeping. And now that means that Kebap can step in with a poison touch, and, well, Lil will be going down. Did they manage to take much of the stacks here? I don't know. S4 looks like he came in and tried to clean it up a bit, but S4 is not the prime, beneficiary, if you will, of these stacks. He's still only sporting 400 gold after being taken down. He's poor. It's going to be a while before he gets his Blink Dagger. 0-3.
Yeah, he actually looked a lot more poor before the Tranquil Boots came in the complete form on the courier, but yeah, he's definitely not as farmed as you would expect him to be. Of course, he is 0-3. It's just what happens when you play that beta role kind of thing, just like what he did earlier at top and wasn't farming in the meantime. Gets caught out at mid, of course. Again, with that ward, I'm not too sure if those poor man's blink interactions should be happening so frequently, but it has been happening. VP's making them work.
And all the meanwhile, the one man who doesn't seem to be getting too involved and getting his hands too dirty is silent on this gyrocopter. He continues to farm up
the
and
stacks though.
yes. Yes. And now this is the reason why he's got this offshore account that's been built up for him thanks to his wonderful support team. And next thing you know, he's got his what looks like Aquila here complete. And then it's on him if he wants to, build up Hurley, Helm of the Dominator, S and Y. He's going to be... He does things a bit different. Usually for a lot of the core gyrocopters, by the time they're at this point, level 7, level 8, which, hey, he could still do now, you buy your TP or get a smoke, and you start heading to the other side of the map, and you initiate with that first grand call down and get yourself a kill. Silent seems more farm-based this game.
Yeah, I think that's a product of the fact that he started in the offlane this game. So he actually did what you would do normally now, playing aggressive. And then he had to transition to safe lane to play catch up now, and he's catching up quite well, I would say. Loda's still quite ahead of him, despite the fact that he died earlier in the engagement on his side of the woods. But he's been playing primarily on his side of the map, so he's not missing out as much as Silent would have been in the offlane.
And S4 back to the jungle. Got to get that blink dagger. Starts farming his way through a couple of creeps. Akke will be there to babysit him a bit, but it's a free lane, mid lane here for Phobos to work with for now. Another gentleman who is just trying to blitz on forward and get a hold of that precious blink dagger here. He's got about 1,300 to his name. And soon enough, Loda will be able to break through this top lane and get to this tier 1 tower. He's sitting on his phase boots already, but looks like he's going to have the drum build. So it's the early foundation build up here for your Jug. But Jug as a hero, as we know, it takes a little bit of time to come online here. I would even say his level 1 Omni Slash is just nothing to really be proud of. So definitely want to get to that mid game when he can really strut his stuff.
Yeah, and with that in mind, I really feel like drums it's not the item here. He definitely wants to transition into the mid game, but I'm not sure if he wants to do it like this. I think he needs to build himself this game. The Batrider and the Doombringer are the ones that are going to play utility slash like initiation and fights. And I guess you can have a tri-core with the Doom in a sense that Batrider does scale and so does Juggernaut despite the items. But Juggernaut will fall off without the right items choices.
And Doom has the drums already.
Yeah, actually, now that you mentioned that too, that's right.
They have 2 sets of drums coming together. What is going on?
This is a blunder actually. I mean, 2 drums is not the worst thing in the world. It's much better than like 2 mech, for example, and people have gone double mechs on teams, but it's just like it's a Juggernaut. You want to be able to scale, and right now he actually has no points in Blade Dance either with a Quelling Blade, so he's not looking to farm too much either. And yeah, I don't know. They're gonna have to start pushing towers really hard because this gyrocopter Tiny, their farm is not really slowing down. It's only gonna accelerate from here on out.
Next thing you know, he's gonna get like an Agnum Scepter, and I'm really gonna question what the hell's happening. This is very interesting here for Alliance. We'll have to see what the outcome's gonna be. But Virtus.Pro content on farming up. Still, Silent works his way through the woods here. Tiny has Wisp in hand. G has his Blink Dagger now, and Centaur is very close to hit. We're going to have Blink Wars here very soon. I mean, at about the same time, you'll see S4 Batrider, you'll see the G Tiny, and of course the Phobos Centaur all have their Blinks, and both teams might want to put those to use first. So it can go from Silent to very hectic real fast here.
Yep, G just ported himself at mid. I actually thought that they could kill this 910 HP Juggernaut with the combo and Wisp tethering in with like 3 balls while he's in the air. And probably finish him off with right clicks too if he decided to spin, because if he decided to use Omni Slash, he wasn't going to kill the Wisp and the Tiny, and it would have been like a waste of an Omni Slash. But they decided to think otherwise, even though they had a ward that scouted out pretty much the entirety of Alliance. Playing safe is fine too. Again, they're the ones that are farming around the map, and Alliance are the ones that must feel the pressure to do something, despite the fact that they're more farmed for the time being.
Well, this do something time is now. The
Yeah,
Blink
looks like
is
it is.
here for S4, and they're going to smoke up, and they're going to go on the move here. All right, run through the jungle now. Let's see who they can get a hold of here. They're hoping to get a gyrocopter who has been missing off the map for quite a while here. Will S4 find the target and hog tie them up?
Oh, clutch awareness.
Oh, if Phobos doesn't get caught, he'll be able to save everyone with a Stampede. There's the Stampede. Are they going to use it to engage or not? Looks like it's just a getaway. FNG is going to be the one target grab. Oh, a relocate in from G and Lil, but they're not in a good part of the fight. They're actually pulling back and away. Lil's looking to make a move. He turns back. He throws his partner in. Lil might be in trouble. Now they're going to relocate back and out. And Alliance are only going to be getting the one pick off here. So I guess a somewhat successful debut for the Batrider Blink. Not the best target they'd hoped for, but it's something. And, well, quickly Virtus.Pro don't want to have to force everyone to the bottom lane. They'll continue to farm elsewhere.
Now the thing with Akke, he might just die here. I think he's gonna sleep up. No, Fiend's good.
Lil's like, stop it. Phobos is here, though, and he's like, I got a Blink Dagger. Jumps in, stomps him down. Bulldog makes his presence known, still holding the Doom here. Might turn it on to G, will do so. Lil, is he gonna? No, he can't relocate. He's just gonna try to keep him healthy and well. It looks like he will be able to. What a nice catch from Phobos, blinking in with a big boy stun there. Bulldog gonna be kept alive from Kebap with the grave. Kebap will lose his own life. Bulldog still on the run. They toss in Phobos. Phobos not gonna be able to get the catch here. That slow turn rate. All the meanwhile, it looks like Loda now shows up into the fight, gets the spin onto Lil, and will take him out. But they're still on the move, man. G trying to get close. Has to turn his avalanche onto Loda instead, and they are on the chase, and with some stacks and this flame break, they will have a beautiful Omni Slash setup, and Loda will get himself a double kill.
That stun though.
That's
by
done,
DkPhobos. That
Ridiculous.
was crazy. 3-man stun right at the peninsula there.
Tower is under attack.
And it looked like it was going to be Virtus.Pro, easy fight for them. They got the early start, and they're looking for more even now. Jump onto Loda, who just quickly turns in, but look who's back in action. Lil relocates from the fountain here alone, and they're not going to be able to get the follow-up, it looks like, onto Loda at this time. But Alliance were able to find their way back into the fight. Loda, you know, better late than never to get in, and has a fabulously late entrance, being able to get himself a double kill. And he's going very farm-intensive here, Claire. He's got the perseverance. He's going for a Battle Fury.
This is definitely the right call. I feel like if he wanted the drums he really should have just gone for like a bracer just to buff up his life points a little bit, and then gone for it. Because the aura and the charges, that's gonna come from the Doom, and most of the time they're gonna be fighting together. And if they're not, he's gonna be using Omni Slash most of the time, which drums will have like no impact on whatsoever. So I mean, you can argue that maybe during the Omni Slash you can attack once or twice faster because you pop the drums or something, but it's just like impractical in terms of spending 2k gold for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, going for the Battle Fury here on out, and then going for a Blink Dagger, probably the best choice.
I mean, at least the drums will give him that little bit of extra life, puts him over the 1k a bit. When you're going against heavy, bursty lineups, like Call Down, Gyrocopter, and of course your Tiny combo, you just need a little bit of extra meat on the bones to stay alive. Maybe the drum will just offer its duty in that sense. And, you know, we have yet to see really Silent get involved in these fights. He's been spending a lot of that meat time here. I'm surprised to see he's still 4th in net worth, considering he hasn't really been super involved in the fights too much. But at least for now, he's got a Yasha on standby, and it looks like he's going to be building into a Helm of the Dominator here soon.
Yeah, it's definitely a product of not winning fights either. Never mind the fact that he didn't participate, but also when the fights do break out, if he doesn't get the kills while he's participating, that's that much time he's missing out on.
Easy jump and
She gets
run.
a really quick snipe there.
Yeah, that was just jump in, jump out. That was a mugging. We just witnessed firsthand, but they might get their own kidnapping here. They're going to pull back on the G, and see you later. Lil's going to get the classic Wisp save, but are they going to use it to re-engage? Oh, it was just a 4-foot.
4v5.
Oh, he didn't take him back to base. No, it was just like, yeah, 5 feet out. And, yeah, Alliance don't want any of it here, so they will not get to avenge poor little Akke from that mugging. And Virtus.Pro will disperse and go back to farm.
Wise choice by Alliance to back out there, of course. It was 4v5, and Lasso was down. Scorched Earth was also going down, which means that if VP decided to commit with a Stampede, they would have probably ran over all of them, despite the Omni Slash and Grave and whatnot. So it looks like just to follow up now, VP is going to be pressuring the mid tower. I don't think they'll actually get it, but they're able to pressure 2 lanes in the meanwhile.
It's like they're trying to bait out some fight. They got help nearby in the woods, and they're just trying to tantalize Alliance a bit with Silent out in front. But they're not biting.
Uh-oh, S4. It's time for the S4 rune.
And he's thinking about making a move that way. He might even sweep it from behind here. And they're prepping him up a bit. There goes the Dazzle Weave. Our Alliance going to interject. Loda is now got his level 2 Omni Slash. That will do a lot of work. And it looks like the opportunity won't be there. Virtus.Pro don't want to stay around much longer. And we'll step back and away.
Lasso is up now, and I think given their movement, it looks like they want. Yeah, they did smoke. So with the back of this haste rune, they're gonna be going for this woods engagement here, and they have a nice ward plan in scouting out both the Wisp as well as the Tiny.
S4 already takes to the skies here, and he just starts bolting that way with the haste rune. There it is. It was a long flight, but he's able to get the catch. Oh, he bumps back the Wisp, so he cannot tether in. Beautiful job from Gustav right there. And Akke making it work. Trying to get a Fiend's Grip, but he will lose his own life. It's a trade, a worthy one at that. G has bought back, and Alliance said, we got to get the hell out of here. Kebap looking to run, but he is getting a face full of balls right there. And now he will just go for a desperate Shallow Grave TP, and he's out! Oh, the Avalanche just a bit too late. What a move from Alliance. What a catch from S4.
Yeah, it's something that he's actually done many times in the past. Something that he always looks forward to. And I think one of the best examples of canceling the Wisp relocate is by Ice. There was a game where he was Tidehunter and he just blinked past the Tiny because he knew the Wisp was going to try to relocate him out and just ravaged and hit everybody in the scene. These kind of moves are always really nice to see because it gives the testimony to their high awareness and their high skill. That really was a high skill play coming out of S4.
That's something you're going to see in your pubs very often. S4 putting in the work now, has his bat utility belt complete, if you will, with 4 staff now in hand, and he can take things a bit further. I mean, Ags is now always a new plausible option for your bat riders, and I wonder if it's something S4 may or may not consider in this game. Obviously stepping up for something like a BKB, they're going to make a move in. The silent pullback right now, right into the arms. G's going to make a jump in on for Bulldog. Bulldog's going to be forced to turn back and dish out the Doom, but the call down comes in from Silent. Bulldog barely kept it alive with the help of the Shallow Grave. Tries to get some heals, but VP still on the chase, specifically Silent. He's going to be running him down. FNG will get that kill. Now the rotation's coming in, as it is a 2-for-1. They're going to get the sleep onto FNG. Quickly de-slept, but the Omni Slash going to work from Loda. Oh, can he get Silent? Silent, oh, trying to make a run away, but will not make it out. A double kill is there for Loda. 4 go down from Virtus.Pro. Alliance able to come out on top. They even still hold their tier 1 tower and everything.
Yeah, that was a really bold re-engagement by VP. They already committed the mass load of their ultimates. Wisp was still doomed up, and Tiny and everybody else was like 50% HP. So when a full HP Juggernaut came in with Omni Slash, I'm pretty sure they should have just backed, but decided to re-engage. Tiny got the pick off on the Dazzle, but the trade-off is they lose the Gyrocopter and the Tiny in the process. Rough ending to a fight that started out so well.
And things going really well for Alliance. The most significant lead of the game to this point, just barely about 3K, because you know how close things were till now. And Phobos being the adventurous one for his team. He's got the Vanguard here built up after the Blink Dagger, so Crimson Guard in order for him. Could help mitigate a lot of the damage for himself and his team. But as we saw, Alliance still seem to be getting the better of these 5-on-5s. I was expecting Virtus.Pro to be coming out on top there in the end. They had Silent on hand this time. It was a nice call down, but Alliance just had more going their way. And we're able to
honestly,
get the
though,
finish.
I really wonder if this Vanguard it's worth it at this stage in the game. I know Omni Slash is actually one of the things that does like no damage against Crimson Guard. And when Crimson Guards pop, like the Juggernaut will just be jumping around the map, and wherever he lands, he'll most of the time just fall because he did 0 damage. But going for an Aghanims is like a very similar price to the Crimson Guard, and the Ags will give the 60% to everybody. But hold that thought, there's a fight here.
Break it out. The Roche is already taken down. It's already an Aegis in the pocket of Loda, but Virtus.Pro still feels strong that they can do a fight here, but I don't think so. G, doomed up, will be going down first. They get the return kill onto the Bane, but now it's Alliance looking to clean up. A forced evacuate going to be there. But FNG, now one of the lone survivors, is going to be going down next. Phobos, the last available target, and S4 is already on his trunk. And with that, Loda will be able to cut him off with the pass, spin it about, and it'll be another kill for him. Well, S4 picking up that one, but look who's up and above. S4 actually really rotates to the top. Well, he goes down. What?
Oh, what?
What? He was just getting a kill bottom lane. He somehow quickly stepped off, TP to the top lane, and VP are like, you're alone. We're just going to kill you. And they did. Smoke, and they TP out. All right, that was a funky ending right there, but sure enough, Virtus.Pro still end up losing more of that fight. They didn't get the tier 2 top lane, and now they're going to lose Lil. Yeah, Omni had been held that whole time, and now gets
he has the Aegis, so I'm sure they didn't commit too many spells. And with the Blade Fury, there's a lot of damage mitigation for that 5 seconds. Because VP, for the time being, they're all magic damage. Again, Alliance do come out ahead, but I think that play out top was well, it's obviously really nice when you can get a free kill on the Bat Rider that just TP'd. But even though Lil died towards the end there, it forced a lot of Alliance's attention top. And that means Alliance couldn't have followed up that wonderful Roshan plus fight with a tier 2 tower bottom or mid or tier 1 mid or something like that. So in terms of objectives, VP held out in the end.
Man, oh man, well at least Silent's trying to play a bit of catch up here, working through one of the biggest stacks I'd seen. And with that, we'll maybe secure the rest of his farm. He's got the Manta recipe, he does. Alright, yeah, so Manta now done. So Manta for this game obviously could make things very difficult for S4 landing a proper lasso, helps mitigate the Omni slash damage, could help obviously make things frustrating for the Doom. Is there
Bane
more to
as
it
well,
than
yeah.
that? Yeah, Bane.
So still just one of those items that I'm not entirely sure, or convinced rather, if it's going to be enough. Because this game, like if he's going to go Manta to disrupt those spells, he actually needs a BKB as well to make sure even if the spells are cast, they don't do damage. And then what happens is you have a Gyrocopter that's essentially playing 2 position. His flak cannons are kind of be like tickling heroes. And that's not really what you want to be in this game right now, because G's already opted for the Blink Dagger, and his farm is extremely delayed.
Oh man, Phobos, what a quick blink. He just nearly avoided Akke setting up what I imagine being the Fiend's Grip. Yeah, that's the question. He's got a TP. I mean, that's a common spot. S4 is going to find you there, bro.
No.
He blinks down, and Lil's trying to get there to help him out, but they might end up losing both of them. Yeah, they will. Yeah, they will. S4 will get the lasso off on the DkPhobos after Lil goes down, and there's going to be the second takedown there. Now, FNG trying his best to split push the top lane while the rest of his troops are farming out mid, but that is... It was very close to getting away, but Alliance, a successful smoke movement. They end up walking away with 2 kills.
Yeah, that was honestly a prime example of save a friend syndrome there. I don't think there was any way that could have worked, because given the position, he was already inside the AoE vision range coming out of S4's Firefly. So there was no way that they were just going to let him get the relocate. And even if the relocate...
Loda. I'm sorry, he just omnied a couple of Manta illusions.
Yeah, I was talking through it. I was like, what's going on exactly? But wanted to finish. But yeah, top lane, there's still a push coming out of FNG, so he's just making the best situation out of no situation, really. Just pushing the lanes, trying to secure vision for his team. And again, the main story here so far, Kotl, man, this G, this Tiny, he just has nothing.
No, I think they were hoping that this Tiny was going to be beating some serious ass by this point, but he's just not. He's just not pulling off those blink combos. Uh-oh. They're making a move on S4. Goes in Viz. FNG does not know what's happening. They do not have the detection, so they're just running in circles. Look at this. All hands on deck, and they're not getting anything. And it might even be a low... Look at this Alliance creeping in. They may not know, but Loda does not have Omni. But enough with a lasso and right-click. They might be able to get Phobos here. It looks like they should. He goes down, and, well, Virtus.Pro have to evacuate. This all starts with a setup from FNG, a relocate, a stampede, and they all get nothing from it. They end up losing a life at the end of it. At the end of the day.
And I guess since the laning stages, since Bulldog's been doing so well this game, we haven't really touched upon him too much. He's got a somewhat of an unorthodox build. Normally, when you see this build, you'll see like a Vlad's or a Shadowblade in lieu of the BKB and Blink Dagger. But I like this choice. Again, he recognized that the Gyrocopter, Centaur, Tiny, at this point, they're all magic damage. And if he can just blink in and focus down any high net worth target with the Doom, he effectively turns the fight 4v5. And again, with the BKB duration, he's not going to die. And he's going to right-click pretty hard as well with the Wolf Creep as well as the Critical Strike coming out. So really fine choice of items here. And if he gets the Shivas next, I imagine with the Juggernaut Aegis coming out in a few minutes, if they happen to do it before VP, and the Shiva's Guard, they could pretty well go for a chance at the high ground.
That sounds like a pretty good storyboard for the Alliance game if it's able to kind of follow through. And we'll see if they get the opportunity. Virtus.Pro have already opted for just kind of like, these ganks are not working. We got to get back. We got to get farming here. Phobos is still working towards that Crimson Guard. And I felt like I was pointing that out like a day ago. So it's been a bit of a struggle for him up to that point. But it's not surprising. He's been caught out a couple of times now. 3 and 4 here. Also hard time for Lil. Top lane, a Stampede disengagement, it looks like. They wanted to make a move in this top lane, and they needed to use the Stampede just to evacuate Silent out from trouble. Mr. President, we got to go. Get him back in a way. Silent's got some good farm, though.
One of the concerns I have about using Stampede like this to run away from the Bat Riders is, while it's necessary, well, I'm going to hold that thought here.
Loda spinning in. Something's up. There's a lot of ancient creeps here, and Alliance don't like it. They're going in first, and look at that. Dazzle runs into trouble. Silent just shoots him down. And Alliance are like, we may have to get the hell out of here. This first trying to weigh on the high ground for an opportunity to make a move in. Flame Break splits them apart here. Loda trying to Omni-Slash what's left. They're going to get the kill. And look at that. He's cleaning house. Godlike for him. Double kill. Virtus.Pro falling apart. And Lil's going to be next. Then G. And it's going to be a 5-man wipe for Alliance. They're happy to step back. And their re-engagement, very successful. All without their little dazzle as well. It's time to push out this mid lane. And, well, I was going to say maybe scout out this Roche. But it is still not up. Big fight for Alliance. 3K net worth swing their way.
That was a really weird engagement too. It's like both teams just kind of ran into each other without too much vision. I know VP planted a ward there earlier, but the Juggernaut was coming from an angle from the secret shop that they didn't have vision of. And as we see, the end result is, after everybody uses their spells and items, we still see Alliance in favor, despite the fact that there was no lasso used, and S4 has almost got a BKB as well. So it's only going to be stronger the next time around. And I think it sort of goes back to the previous point too about the Centaur Stampede. If you use the Stampede to disengage the Bad Rider initiation, if he doesn't lasso, you're in trouble.
And in this case, he did not. Virtus.Pro gonna lose their tier 3. They thankfully come back in time to not, allow any further damage. But Alliance got to be feeling pretty damn confident that they have full control of this one. We even look over the supports from everything they've obtained so far is 2,400 gold on frickin' Akke here. He is loaded. Kebap not so much. He's been more of the selfless one, it looks like. Just kind of playing down some wards here. Doesn't even have really a solar crest yet to his name. Something maybe they could benefit a little bit from this game, but it's more on the other side. Virtus.Pro frantically looking to build together what farm they can here. And it's still going to be a tough time. I mean, G would need the armor next, if he can build together something like an AC. He's still a bit frail for some of these fights.
Oh yeah, still very squishy. I'd argue that he needs a BKB as well, and in general, just too many items that he can't afford for the time being. He does pick up the Yasha, so he might actually go for Manta as well. This against the Omni-Slashing Juggernaut with a Battle Fury, just two carries that can scale better than most of the heroes here, and they're opting for a Manta style. This is simply put not a scenario you want to be in. And I think they're kind of forced to do it at this point, but I don't know. I'm not sure if it's enough, personally. I think Alliance's next key is definitely Roshan. Looks like they just drew the line as well. But, we mentioned about the Crimson Guard coming out of Phobos now. He's actually completed it and has the Ogre Club now. But it's been a very short time since Bulldog got his plate mail, and lo and behold, he's already finished up the Shiva's Guard after that previous fight. So this next fight is definitely going to be the Alliance's go-to.
And Loda completing out that butterfly. It looks like it is quickly getting
so
answered. From Silent, who already has his Demon Edge at least. He's trying to build up to get the MKB, but it does leave him still a bit frail. And I don't know. At that point, Alliance maybe just a bit too far ahead. And that storyboard you had painted before still seems to be a nice reality here for Alliance as they wait for the ticking clock of that Roche to pop back up. The benefit of having that extra life could assure them the capability of just kind of pushing into that high ground. And might come a bit awkwardly
nice
here. Set up in a way. They're looking to go for Kebap, relocated and everything. They're looking to bring the whole VP party in. And they're still trying to even finish off at least one little dazzle here, but he still gets pushed away to safety. Will go down, but Loda unleashes the fury now, and they're quickly able to slice apart 3. Silent going to get pulled back into the action here from S4. A triple kill for Loda. Make it an ultra as he's able to clean out the last Silent. It's a 5-man wipe from Virtus.Pro, and that means an easy Roche in about 20 seconds time.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for them. They haven't had it spawn yet, but S4's got 870 gold, and I think after that fight, I think he's just going to go for a gem as soon as he's got the 900. I'm not too sure. It's been a while since we've seen a Bad Rider play, and I'm sure it's been a while for him as well, but all they need to do is just hold vision, get Roshan, and probably just high ground. And you know what? They're going to just forget part 1 and part 2. They're going straight for part 3. There's no tier 3 to worry about, and they have the creeps.
Yep, easy mid set of racks at least, and then pull off and grab the Roche thereafter. And Loda, as you can see, just easily able to chunk it down. And look at that. Nope, they're like, we want to get 2 birds with 1 stone. We're going to also make a move on bottom lane and get this tier 3 down at least. 3 are already up from the side of Virtus.Pro. Can they do anything to respond about it, or do they need to wait for more? Alliance won't even give them the opportunity. They're already going to see their chance to head on out, and I assume a beeline towards the Roche pit is in order.
Let's see, yeah, there is the gem. It's actually coming out now in by Akke. I guess he got a support to buy for him, since Akke is pretty overfarmed, I would say, at this point. At least in comparison to the enemy supports. So he has the gem now. Doesn't look like he wants to give it to S4. I guess it's fine. The Aegis will most likely go to S4 or Loda, but I'm not sure if Loda wants to drop any items. He probably thinks that he's pretty unkillable now as long as he gets his Omni Slash off. And Alliance, they have a ton of options. He actually bought a Moon Shard just now, and he's probably going to consume that unless he wants to just hold it for the 120 attack speed.
He may just hold it
Yeah.
until he has to get the Aegis. Oh, they knew that something was fishy. VP were in the neighborhood. S4 waits for the opportunity, finds one, grabs the pull on the Undying, pulls him back, and takes him out. And now, Alliance confidently dancing on in. Loda wait for the opportunity. Omni Slash unleashes it now, and there it goes! Oh, absolute destruction once more for Loda. A triple kill for him, taking out Phobos, taking out Silence. Looking to go for Lil. Lil's like, I gotta go, Scepter. Please don't do this! It doesn't matter. It's over. GG's been called. He gets that one anyways. An ultra kill for him, and Loda finishes out the game. 20-1 on his jug.
Yeah, that Battle Fury choice, it was really, really good. And he didn't even need the Blink Dagger this game because his team was so heavy on the engagements and playing so aggressive with Bad Rider initiating in. Key highlight play coming out, remember at bottom when he just flame broke to cancel the relocate coming out of Lil, who wanted to save his partner and force G to buy back. Really good stuff from Alliance ever since that point on, and they really controlled the game pretty nicely.
And now we suddenly have Game 3, and it's hard to tell. Virtus.Pro polished and well for Game 1. Alliance, you could say the same for them in Game 2. It's anyone's game now to see who's going to be walking out with the advantage in this series. A very important one at that. Alliance need this to kind of assure their place into a top 2 position, or at least contest for one. And Virtus.Pro, though they're on top, they still would like to hold a commanding position or at least have a perfect run through the group stage. So with that said, we'll kind of go to a small break. KotlGuy here. I'm joined by Clairvoyance, and after a few moments, we'll return for Game 3 of Alliance and Virtus.Pro. We'll see you soon. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. We're getting into Game 3 now of Alliance taking on Virtus.Pro. It's Phase 2 of Star Series Season 13. We got to find out which teams are going to make their way into what seed of the playoff bracket coming up next. Alliance are already sitting with 1 Series won and 1 Series lost. They need a win here for their final series to be in a better position. Virtus.Pro, this is their 2nd series of the tournament so far. Another win here would pretty much secure them into the upper bracket area. So, with that, this is KotlGuy from Beyond the Summit. And I'm not going to be alone. I'm joined once again from Clairvoyance, so from Great Out and Beyond. And here we go, Clairvoyance. Our Game 3 is going to feature the Disgusting Viper, all right? I don't like the hero that much, but he's going to be here for Virtus.Pro. And what a time to have him, because now it's going to be Alliance's turn to have the Tiny Wisp combo.
Yeah, it looks like they swapped roles, except VP didn't actually want what Alliance had in the first game. They actually banded out the Doombringer. The Winter Wyvern making not a single way into the draft in this 3-game series, and finally, the Slaughter does not get overlooked in the first pick stage.
Yeah, but you know who still continues to get overlooked kind of a bit more is Tusk, man. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it's ever since Game 1, I guess both teams are somewhat reluctant to touch it.
Oh, funny how teams are with their metas and how they like to shift them around, and each best of 3 forms its own mini birth of one. And yeah, I gotta say, I like Virtus.Pro having the Viper this go around, and I don't know. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen Alliance personally run the Tiny Wisp. I'm gonna try my best to multitask here, Clairvoyance, and see if I can bring up the Dota buff and see their recent history of play. But I don't know. Do you remember at all in recent time with them playing it? I look now, and they have played it. It was way back about 20 days ago, apparently, against eHome, so that was at the major, I suppose. So I guess they're a bit up to snuff with it. Just something I haven't personally seen a whole lot, so I'm excited.
Yeah, so most of the time you'll actually see Alliance play against the Wisp Tiny. I guess they like to play against it in general. They probably figured out how the combo works. Unfortunately, sometimes you'll still fall to it, and
10 seconds remaining.
last game was one of those cases where they succeeded with their strategy against the Wisp Tiny specifically. They like to run a lot of the Bad Riders, the Juggernauts. But, you know, this might change in time, as you said, with every team having their own meta. And, you know, after your very own summit, we can expect a huge patch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think, I'm not sure if some of the snippets and details have been shared, but this is a very small detail. I'm not sure if it's going to be a big
you have a little bit of extra something?
Yeah, the map's going to change. Yeah, the Dota map's going to change.
Are you for real?
Yeah, the terrain's going to change. There's going to be...
You're not just talking about the desert one, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Not just the, like the format, the layout itself, like the foundation, the groundwork.
Wow.
It's gonna change. 2 new camps. And
What?
I believe.
You're
yeah, 2 new
lying.
neutral camps, and I believe. I guess for the addition of more symmetry type of thing, how they're gonna do it, I won't spoil the details on how. It's pretty much unconfirmed too, but I think also Dire offlane might get a pull, just like the Radiant offlane has one. The access to Dire Wood Camp number 5, something similar to that.
What? Okay,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
it sounds
like,
crazy.
this
Like,
is
if you
really,
told
really
me the
big.
Roach Pit was going to change before it did, I would have thought you were crazy then. So, I don't know, man. It sounds like a bit of
10
tinfoil hat,
seconds
but your name
remaining.
is Clairvoyance, so I don't know. I don't know what to think. So,
5
okay.
Unfortunately, I haven't
remaining.
seen the future. I can only record what I've seen in the past. But
All right. Well, you heard it here first. If
Reserve
it does
time.
happen, that's crazy to me. A map change, huh? That would be pretty
it's
damn
a
dramatic.
lot of crazy stuff coming in, and a lot of crazy stuff. Let me tell you.
All right, I'm ready for it because I feel like this meta, if we were to compare it from like a growing state, it's definitely past its puberty. You know, we're past the teen era. This is like a 50-year-old man who's like, I'm getting ready to go to retirement, but I got a little bit of work
Virtus.Pro's
left before I
turn
can
to
get,
pick.
you know, that full advantage of my 401k. I think Summit
that's
is
what
going to
I,
be hopefully the retirement home for this meta.
Yeah, and that's actually what I find so interesting about the whole majors format now that we have the 4 seasons, so to speak, in Dota. Not to take away from this game specifically, but you know, every 3 months, you can expect some sort of major balance change, and of course, this is the first one. So I'm not sure if everyone's gonna. And I doubt the potential of
10
every single one
seconds
having like a
remaining.
huge change, like map layouts and huge imported heroes like Earth Spirit, and
5
I'm assuming maybe like
seconds
Oracle or Earth Spirit might get through as well. That's unconfirmed. But yeah, it's gonna be like
Reserve time.
3 months every time you'll expect something like a meta changing patch, and it's a really interesting thought.
I'm excited. I'm excited for change, as I always am. I'd have to say though, this particular meta, I want to get back to the draft soon, but it's entertained more than a lot of the others. You know, of course, you know, when we had the pesky like Tinker era or the Troll Sniper, things felt pretty damn stale at that point. But I feel like we're seeing a,
Oh
a
man,
nice.
that was, you know, being a mid player myself, that was one of my favorites because Tinker, man, you can solo carry a game. It doesn't matter what your offlane or safe lane do. If you do well in your lane, get your bots, get your Dagon, you'll just start killing heroes nonstop. And there's actually so little that they could have done back in the day. And Sniper, like Sniper Troll, that was another dreadful meta. You talk about this disgusting Viper Kotl, man, those heroes gave you
Yeah.
no solutions.
I mean, there is that small, the 1% or whatever, the dozens of us who actually enjoy Viper or enjoyed Tinker at that point in time that are just
5
thriving
seconds
right now. But
remaining.
all right, well, look at this. We're in for a treat. The Dong Special, Nature's Prophet,
Uh-oh.
here for Alliance. You know, I
You're
don't know.
against.
It's been, even the last time he's pulled it out, I want to say it's not like it's not like a for sure win, but it's definitely something scary.
The last time they pulled it out, Alliance were back, Kotl.
Oh, really? Was it that recent?
I'm just guessing.
Alliances
I'm assuming
turn
that they
to
were
ban.
back because most of the time when they pick Furion,
Oh,
you
yeah.
are playing against Alliance and you do not ban Furion. Blah blah blah. Alliance are back.
Let's see. When's the last time they played it here? I'm looking it up. I got their Dota. You know, I'm a man of multitasking here. Let's see.
It's
Been a while. All right, is this it here? It looks like 6 days ago against 4CL,
seconds remaining.
and you know what? They lost it. So actually, that comes a part of their 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 game loss streak. So they were definitely they were definitely not back up to 2 days ago. They did win.
Well, they were back to a different place. I
Yeah,
imagine. They're still back in some way.
But hey, since then, they got that
10
2-0
seconds
win
remaining.
over Navi, who were back in their own right, I guess, because they took down OG. So they beat the guys who were also back. Now they're back. Then now we're here now against VP, and they lost
Reserve
first game,
time.
and so they're kind of trying to come back. Is where we are currently in the
We'll
back
see if
or
this
not
is a
back
comeback
meter.
for
I don't know. But they got to be happy. Nature's Prophet. So what we got from that was the last time they ran Nature's Prophet, it was not a for sure win. They actually lost that matchup against 4CL. So it's not like the end all be all, but it's definitely something they're happy to go for, a specialty, if you will. So there he is, though. Tusk does make an appearance. It's better late than never here for Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, and honestly, I would imagine playing Nature's Prophet against Slaughter is not fun either. Slaughter, a hero that has the built-in phase mechanic coming out of the sprint every 12 seconds. Or 17 seconds, I should say, which lasts for 12. He doesn't care about the Fury and Treant block, which is one of the not only a trademark of AdmiralBulldog, but also a trademark of Fury itself playing the early game. And another hero that doesn't care about that and completely bypasses that will be the Tusk. So VP actually have a lot of tools and a lot of damage that can go through right on top of the Furion. So despite Alliance's TI3-esque draft, that's kind of a homage to their TI victory lineup sort of thing. They have the global presence, but can they pull it off here? You know, it's gonna be tough with the lane setup that they have now.
Now, what would round out this perfect Alliance TI-esque draft with something for S4? It would have maybe the Batrider mid, but it was banned. But
yeah, it's like the Tiny will be the focus one, and I believe it could be played at the safe lane this game. I mean, playing Wisp Tiny against Viper, if the Viper is good and the Tusk rotates or some other hero rotates and interferes, it could be tough. But the other thing is, they need a playmaking type of hero that goes beyond just Bulldog. Because assuming that Bulldog can't really snowball against Loda and Tusk, since he might be the prey, not the hunter in this case, they need something that's mobile, something that can fight early, Centaur type of thing, but something that synergizes with Earthshaker. In terms of the synergy, Razor and Gyrocopter come to mind, but again, not too sure if they're the playmakers that they need this game.
We'll see. Oh,
Queen of Pain. There you go.
All right. There she is. Nicely done. Alliance now. They got an S4 special. How do you think he stands? People consider him one of the best Queen of Pains in the game right now, but you also got your Sumails. You got your CTYs. Do you think he's up there?
Yeah, I think S4 is definitely up there in terms of skill, raw skill with the hero. In terms of performances and results, though, it's definitely different. That might be a tribute to the team differences as well, but I don't know. Personally, there was that game, if you recall, EG versus Vega. Sumail played the best co-op I've ever seen in my entire life. He played this BKB first Queen of Pain, went like 20-5, and his entire team, Arteezy was playing Luna, and it's like they were all having a really rough time. And I don't know, the man's just a monster. And I think CTY's Queen of Pain also attests to his skill by just having a really good statistic overall. Visage,
it's
a hero that
it's a Lil special.
Very, very strong. Lil special, as you said. Unfortunate that we didn't see it the other day. There's no counter to birds on the side of Alliance this game.
Oh, yeah. You are right. They do not have an easy way of dealing with those pesky birds. And Virtus.Pro just kind of snuck in that Slardar Visage combo right under the nose of Alliance. And Lil is dirty with this hero. I mean, you said it before. I've heard it from people like Capitalists and stuff. This guy he even picks it in pubs and just
he solo queues matchmaking and he goes mid with Visage.
Try hard.
And he wins. Yeah.
That's just disgusting.
Try hard. That was a massive try hard, Kotl.
Yeah, man, that's so filthy. But
yeah, filthy.
You don't see those in you don't see Visage at all in my pubs. But when you get to that level and you're just spanking people with a mid lane Visage, there's something special about you. And Virtus.Pro have that special person right now. And I don't know, I'm feeling it. This could be a Lil show. We'll see. He's a bit, but we also have, we got specialist for specialist here. Got the Bulldog Nature's Prophet going against the Lil Visage here.
You know what? I'm looking at something very interesting. Have you ever seen these treants?
Let me see. Where are they right now?
Scouting out the map right now, heading towards the ruin.
Oh. Yes.
What are these things?
Yeah, I don't know. They're like little minotaurs or something?
Yeah, they're
green centaur things.
They're quite cute, I have to say. This is interesting.
Look at it. Engage with Lil. Yep. Goes back. That intel, man. All right. Well, here we go. This is it. It's game 3. The winner of this game will take the whole series, get the extra points, and be in a better position here for Star Series 13. Moving into the next group phase here. But I gotta say, based on draft, I don't know. Do you give the slight nod to a team like Virtus.Pro who could be a bit more clashy and have the Viper to deal with the Tiny, or do you think that Alliance with their crafty Bulldog Nature's Prophet, they'll be able to still find plenty of farms through like stacks and have this Tiny be a scary monster?
The battle begins.
I'm not too sure about how the game will progress with the lanes itself. I do think VP have the better tools in the early game to fight. As you said, they look like a very clash heavy team.
Yeah.
But I think if Bulldog ever gets an Aghanim Scepter at any point in this game, he's gonna start spawning treants all over the map, and these single target slash one nuke heroes on the side of VP. I'm not sure if they'll be able to deal with the split push potential.
Yeah, I have to see. I mean, if that's the build now, the Agnum's Octarine Refresher Cancer kind of a build, and or if he's going to have to revert to something different for this particular case. Still now a dual lane matchup here. One that Viper should get the better end of these trades. Certainly as the levels start coming in, he just leads in with another Toxin for now, but as it goes over time, it's more pressure to make sure Akke builds up these stacks, which he's already going to get a head start on because he will need to fall back on this farm because Viper's not making it easy for him.
Now we see Earthshaker stacking up the woods as well. Doesn't really have too much to do, of course. It is Queen of Pain versus Tusker at the bottom. And I think S4 really wants to drop a Shadow Strike here, but he's watching out for the snowball potential dodge. So both players are pretty keenly aware of what each other's arsenal has.
It's a nice thing that Alliance have going for him is they have 3 structured lane setups. Like S4 can handle his own, Bulldog should be able to handle his own. This is something that he's done a bazillion times as it is, and it allows, you know, engagements which are happening like mid lane. They move in, they have the benefit of the Earthshaker being there, and they're trying to make it go into Dazzle, but it's not working out for Loda. Loda's going to be going down. He's the first blood. They might get FNG on the return. They will, but it is going to be first blood bonus for the side of VP, and they get the tiny down of all people. Very nice start.
Yeah. I think that engagement at the very start too, there was no way Earthshaker can block out the Viper. So that was just it was a really hard attempt. They did go for it, and
they're going for Bulldog too, dude. They got the crush, they got the grave slow, and just unfortunately a bit short on the right clicks. Barely makes it away there.
Yeah, Lil really wants level 2 to be able to play a lot more aggressive with that soul assumption coming in.
Loda returns now back to his mid lane. Able to do the classic stout shield quelling blade build up for now.
Oh, Phobos. I think he's dead.
What is happening here? He's getting rolled all the way under the tower, and he has nowhere to go. He's down for sure. All right, nice little pull back there. Alliance's lanes continue to be ever so mobile.
Yeah, it's definitely the key strength of their lineup against the lineup of VPs, which is lane-centric, immobile, and they're taking good advantage of it so far, without the Furion's intervention either. So somewhat of a surprise there, but I think Bulldog will come into play very soon as he's rotating back to base. Possibly going to go straight into the woods now because I don't think he can contest this lane too easily at this point.
Yeah, might have to be something they sacrifice, but easily can make up for it in the other 2 lanes.
Yeah, now that I mentioned that though, there's so many stacks in the woods that I'm not sure if he's able to farm any of it effectively.
Oh, you're
I think
right.
he actually has to go back to lane.
Oh, at least 3 of the camps are just way too big. Oh my god, they have 4 of them stacked up. There is a lot of gold in the trees right now. When Alliance do decide to step back and get it, and they might be able to pincer Phobos here. Well, they hit him with a fissure, but they're certainly not making his life easy. He's 4-1 CS. Compare that to Bulldog, he's at least 6-3, getting really close to level 4, about to snap it right now. While Phobos still struggles to be behind a little bit. And you got to remember they were able to bully Nature's Prophet out of the lane 2 different times. So, very nice setup for them. And FNG is just permanent mid lane babysitter duty. Just sitting here. He's not even making stacks because they don't really have anyone to clear out the stacks.
Yep.
Which kind of sucks for him a bit. So he's kind of stuck on this one babysitter job on level 2. So it's going to be a bit of a slow time for him.
Yeah, this is really like a classic VP lineup going up against a classic Alliance lineup here. VP just want to play super aggressive, don't really want to resort to farming woods unless they have like Shadow Fiend or something and force the fight on you and try to take the objectives that way. Now FNG is actually coming in from behind. I don't think Bulldog will scout this out, but this is a Dazzle gank without Poison Touch, mind you.
Yeah, this is not on the books.
Yeah.
But desperate times, I guess, call for desperate measures, and they just want the extra right clicks now. And
my gosh,
mini weave heal. There we go. There we go, baby. And he is going to TP away. Bye-bye. That's not happening.
I think if Lil stuck around, they definitely would have gotten the kill, but I guess Lil thought other of it, saying, hey, there's treants, there's a creep wave, we should just back off with this.
Yeah. It might end up costing one of their lives getting hit out of that tower just from one desperate soul assumption kill. I mean, they're pretty bloodthirsty, though. I'm not too sure. But otherwise, MSG will have to do the walk of shame back to the mid lane for now. But the nice thing that they do have going for him is that this Viper, he's getting nicely farmed right now. He's 27-13, best CS in the game at this moment, highest on net worth as well. Do you think he's pushing for, like, you get the mech and then we go?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the right approach to this game as well. Let Silent just play this Midas carry with the Slaughter. I'm actually knowing Silent's tendencies. I don't know if he's gonna go Midas, but if he does, it'd be really nice because he can just keep up with the farm while ganking. And Bulldog's in trouble.
Yes, he is. He sprouted a battle cage for himself now. But hey, a lot of damage on the Silent in the meantime, but it's not going to be nearly enough. The Soul Assumption from Lil secures it, and just to be safe, FNG dishes out the grave because these pesky little tree gremlins are poking a bit too much at Silent.
You know, this would have been a really, really next level play. If Bulldog decided to buy back as soon as he died and poured it in, he might have gotten a kill. I can't guarantee too because Silent probably would have stunned him out, but Lil would have died for sure. And that would have been a really impressive play. Because early game buybacks are actually really cheap. And somebody like Eternal Envy would do this often with Ember Spirit. If they just die, they just ram them back in and just get like a double kill or something.
Can't help but feel like it would be a little high risk. I mean, by then the Crush would have been back up, and I don't know. I mean, I understand. Maybe he was like, at the time, the Grave was still maybe available. And
yeah, the Grave was used, and he also had 8 Magic Stick charges. That's why.
Oh,
so,
didn't notice the 8
yeah,
charges.
so he had like insurance to get out for sure. And we knew Dazzle no longer had any more spells to save the Visage, who was like literally 1 to 2 right clicks away from that. So it was a close one. Would have been a neat attempt, but it's not something you have to do. And looks like they want to toss in for a kill here with the Earthshaker Fisher combined with the Wisp Ball Bomb, but looks like it's not happening.
I love it. If you're able to time that out appropriately when you can... If you throw them in as the spirits do expire and then you build up a new set, it does a deceptive amount of nuke damage. That will just blow up right in your face. And you'll see Wisp even try to time out relocates aggressively just to step in, balls burst, and they build up a new set and go for a quick kill. Kebap will avoid some trouble. A pesky FNG Dazzle with DD was kind of giving him a bit of a time, but he had to step back to base here. And steady as she goes for Alliance, they'll continue to find the reserve side farm here as we see Loda taking on a nice big stack. What do you think? Is this enough suppled farm that he could just push straight for the blink, or should he step off for the treads? He's a guy that we know can even get drums if there's one on the team already. You know, is he going to do maybe a bit of the same thing here?
I think just because of the shift to the standard of blink, it should be like an every game item. I think maybe Viper might not be the prime target, but you can always toss him back into the Wisp or somebody else lying in the back lines in tower range. But most importantly, you can always burst down this Visage or Dazzle, especially Dazzle.
Bulldog's in a bit of trouble here, Claire. No Poison Touch again, but they just walk right up to him and just slam him against the bridge wall there.
Oh!
And he somehow just finagled his way out. Nope, he did not. Lil has the final blow right there. FNG barely alive, has to use the Grave to step away again. These little tree goblins just try to get close and tickle you. And he doesn't want anything to do with it. But it's a successful pickoff again here on the mighty Bulldog. And bottom lane, though, they're looking for a trade themselves. They're going to get some quick hit damage on this tier 1 tower.
Looks like they're going to secure it. I mean, there's no heroes really in position on coming on with BP. Phobos has got to heal for a little while, and that's going to take some time as well. And of course, the Earthshaker is in place, in position, with another ward handily placed just above the Roshan area. So, easy tower for Alliance. I would say a fair trade. VP are actually investing a lot of resources every time they see Bulldog. Speaking of Bulldog, he was just about to port it, but decided to think better of it.
Yeah, he'll take his business back to the top lane. I touch back here at the mid lane with G on his disgusting Viper, and look at it. He has a belt. So, Sage, S and Y, is that what we're looking at here for the Viper? Not opting for the mech, maybe hoping that someone else will maybe grab it instead, or maybe no one. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, so far he hasn't been looking like he's going for it. He has the belt. Most likely when you see this, it's going to be like an S and Y or something like that, as you mentioned. And don't know. I do think that if they go for mech, they only have like one playstyle this game. Again, like if he goes for mech, Slaughter has to get a Midas and they have to fight. If he goes for something else, maybe, yeah, first item S and Y, looking with the Sange as well. He might have the chance to scale. It's not something I really want to rely on with a Viper, but it's possible. And he has the Visage as well, who can also scale. And they're starting to farm up the safe lane now, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm curious to see Silent, who's currently sporting 1,300 gold, could be going straight for the Blink, or as you said, the Midas could help them get a bit more greedy and kind of scale a bit better here for Alliance and punish them a bit for taking so much time and farming themselves. It turns into a bit of that greed versus greed, but maybe necessary here for Virtus.Pro, as the opportunities don't seem to be coming as easy as you'd expect. Check back with Bulldog here. His power tread's complete. No early inkling on how he's going to be able to transition, but he hasn't been very fight eccentric. He's not really showing up. You know, it doesn't seem like he needs to show up for any of these particular fights. He's just running into his own bit of trouble in the lane. So he's just trying to catch up. At least he has his ulti. He can be somewhat of a global presence. Loda also. He is going right for the Blink Dagger, it looks like. 1,500 gold sported for him. Claire, are you there?
I am. I'm just
In the zone.
looking around. Yeah, just trying to figure out what else is the next option here for VP. It honestly looks like they're just slowly losing the map.
Alliance just
Oh,
gotta do
Silence
as they
going in.
please. Oh, here we go. Silent. Crushes on forward. Bulldog not going to be able to get the catch, but the toss forward onto Akke, and Akke's like, well, I can't do much about it. I can hit him, but I can't really slow him down. Oh,
that's enough.
that nog on the noggin there. It was Nature's Prophet ulti, and then a follow-up right click from Akke. Going to get the finish there, and Akke ends up going down. As he returns to the bottom lane, it looks like Viper catches him out, takes him apart.
An unfortunate end to a slithering fish.
Well, we'll see here. S4 now is going to be doing his own thing. He's got a DD up. While Viper steps out, he steps in and is glad to kind of set up some damage here. But we might see a siege here at the top lane. We got Loda and Bulldog now doing work on the tower. And Virtus.Pro kind of creeping forward like they want to do something about it. But now they run into Kebap. That's an easy kill for him.
Oh, God.
They'll take that one gladly. And the rest of Alliance are going to have to get the hell out. Do they turn, though? They're thinking about it. Step back stun. Nothing follow-up. They're just trying to keep Silent away. And it looks like they will be able to. Virtus.Pro always hungry for a fight, though. They should probably take the extra moment to just finish out maybe that next item or two.
Yeah,
I'd love to see Silent grab something.
Yeah. I think he really, really wants that Blink Dagger, and I've been talking about the Midas a few times already. I really do hope he gets it, but it might just be a game where he just wants to get Blink so he can actually start being a force instead of getting picked off the way he did. Because right now he's kind of weak and he can be exposed if he's in the wrong spot. And without Blink, it just happens to be the case that a lot of his positioning could be a wrong spot because he doesn't have the escape tool that's necessary. Phobos here with the invis on Bulldog and probably the easiest kill of their lives.
Right on the chin. There's the shard. There's the Viper strike. Bulldog will just sit there and unfortunately accept his reality that he is dead. Gee, killing spree now for his Viper. Very nice. Easy pick, and they're starting to get the kills that they were hungry for before. Having a Tusk now more online certainly helps out. G's very, very tanky, so anyone he can get his slow mobile self onto is probably going to be in for sure death as he gets closer and closer now to his S and Y.
Radiant's top tower is under
And
attack.
they just denied out a fresh new ward, so that's a pretty good bonus as well. Bottom lane, Loda's going in.
And Phobos trying to make him work for it. Could not get the uppercut off. And they will quickly make a retreat. Will they catch up? Oh, they got the slow, but no follow-up is going to be there. And Akke Loda going to make a safe retreat. And now they're going to relocate. The party doesn't stop until Loda shows up. Top lane. And they're going to get the kill now onto Silent. Nice twofer for the Wiz Tiny duo.
Yeah, I think he went on S4 to try and go for a simple harass and probably wanted to blink out, but he didn't realize Bulldog was there. And as soon as Bulldog got his right click off and was able to sprout him up.
Goodness, they make their return, and how convenient they see Lil, and they get that kill too. Well,
and
lovely. And now mid lane, he got a Blink Dagger, he steps in, and he's going to go for a kill on the Viper. Viper, though, is able to live. Oh, man, he's tanky. Walks up, backing away, gets the heal from Dazzle, and he's going to be good. He's going to be just fine. And Virtus.Pro get a mild turnaround now, able to take down the Wisp, but I don't think they're going to be able to follow up with anything else. That almost looks too good to be true. They got those 3 blessings of kills.
Yeah,
and then the mid lane, the tankiness of that Viper, man. I mean,
G, they call him the combo breaker.
He's
He
big.
finished off what Alliance could have had a 4-0 run in like in the span of a minute, literally. But hey, you know, disgusting Viper. This hero's pretty good against magic damage.
I want to say he took almost the full combo from Loda. He took a Sonic Wave and just...
And the Scream,
and,
blinking
yeah,
from the
it was
pop,
just
yeah.
all bad.
And the Earthshaker Fisher. Yeah, he took everything that they could throw at him. Except the Furion ultimate.
And of course, Props FNG was also there to help out with a little bit of extra healing power. And, well, look at this. Now it's going to be Virtus.Pro looking to battle it out with a big one here. They got the amp damage, certainly helps, and a medallion. Oh, this Rosh is going down.
Yeah, 5-on-1 with a great one.
Dire's middle tower is
Alliance know that this is going on, so they're going to get the most that they can, and they are frantically looking to push. Mid lane, tier 1, it's down. Picked up from Loda, and top lane, S4, look at this, halfway already down. The tier 2 top lane. Getting as much gold as they can on the map in exchange for the free Rosh.
Are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack.
I'm walking out
Yep,
now.
S4 is making the best of it. It's, I guess, somewhat of a standard trade between the Dire T2 versus the Rosh, but at this rate, they're not even going to get this
Dire's
T2.
top tower
Or
is under
they'll put it in
attack.
deny range. Yeah, I think he wanted to back for sure. Despite the vision, it's like it's kind of risky because you don't know where exactly the slaughter is.
Dire's top
So
tower
I think it was a wise choice for S4 to just put it in range and get out.
Oh, crush from Silent onto the 2.
Oh
Loda
my
goes
gosh.
down. Akke is there to follow. Nice setup from Silent. They just pounce onto him. Alliance didn't just make the full escape. They stepped off for some farm along the way, and that's where it came back to bite him in the ass.
Yeah,
Nice
huge
ward.
pick off there. Huge. The map is now opened up for the time being, and as you said, with a nice ward, they're able to snipe them out. The problem still lingers though. Silent is extremely underfarmed, so even with this Aegis, all he can really make do of it is probably go for a huge engagement that kind of dives deep more than anything else. Whether they can get a tower out of it or not is a different question, unless the Viper is there with the rest of the forces. And speaking of the Viper, he does have the SNY completed. He's the highest on the net worth board, but it is a Viper. Against the heavy mobility team of Alliance, you know, in terms of dealing with the split push, it's not going to be as easy as it sounds.
Radiant's middle
He
tower
will have
has
to
fallen.
get out of trouble, and uh-oh, Akke, he found himself into trouble.
Holy smokes.
He goes down quickly. And Virtus.Pro,
Their single target
Radiant's
damage
middle
is
tower is under
absolutely
attack.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Again, this is the clashing potential that they had from the early game.
and they're just using this time, and they're just going to keep sieging forward while they got a good thing going.
Radiant's middle
Bulldog
tower
starts,
is under
you know,
attack.
doing his little thing, his little Bulldog thing here.
Dire's courier
Oh
has
no!
fallen.
Gets spotted out from Silent. Tries to hide himself into a sprout to make a TP out, and Silent
Oh,
says,
the bash.
"You shall not pass," and he just starts crushing him in the face. It's a violent one to watch, but Bulldog does go down.
That's that 10% coming into play. I think so far the progression has been somewhat standard and expected. You know, it was somewhat of a given that Alliance, when they start taking the mid game fights, or when the fights do break out, it's going to be very tough for them, especially to kill the Viper. Not to mention the overwhelming aggression coming out of both Tusk and Slaughter. It's just whether they can keep up with the farm and continue split pushing, because at the end of the day, they still have a huge tower advantage. VP has only taken one tower this game, and Alliance have really, really good map control in the sense that even though they can't walk out too far, they have enough territorial space and the vision to dictate their movements more freely.
Yeah, and they know exactly where it's safe to farm, and they'll just keep doing so while they can. And, you know, interesting notes since then. Bulldog's finished out his Orchid. He went with the Orchid first build-up here. Might not help a whole lot against some people like the Viper and stuff, but he's looking to find opportunities where given. And, you know, obviously with the more attack battle kind of build-up, if you will, on this G Viper and not going for the mech. It's fine, though. They got Tusk to get the mech instead, and it's now complete and ready to go. So I think Virtus.Pro, they're ready for a fight, and I think they can go for one sooner than later. And in fact, they're already
Radiant
smoked up,
structures are fortified.
and they are moving towards the mid lane here. They're hustling to see if they can find an opportunity.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower.
Oh, and they
has
might get a
fallen.
cutoff here possibly onto Akke and Loda. Akke has relocate ready to go, but they're not going to pursue. It looks like they're going to head back towards the mid lane here, and most of Alliance are already residing up way north to the top.
Yeah, both teams are just playing around the enemy side of the map, furthest away from their own safety of jungles. VPG, of course, he's just farming up the enemy wood slowly but surely. He's actually picked up a Blink Dagger, so he really wants to get into the nitty-gritty here and just start catching up to heroes. And
And he
Bulldog.
already, puts it to use here on Bulldog, and he got him.
Oh, nice snipe. That's a really good kill.
You give Viper something that he lacks, which is speed and mobility, and suddenly you got a problem on your hands, and that was a wonderful debut for the Blink Dagger now, and that is just something else they have to fear. A missing G off the map has the opportunity now for surprise.
Yeah, it's definitely another thing they have to look out for, especially if they're split pushing on the side of Flop and Bulldog. Even though Bulldog has the form of teleportations and Orchids, and Queen of Pain has the blinks.
Radiant's bottom
That
tower
case
is
scenario,
under
it
attack.
was not enough. Oh, there's a TP coming in from S4.
Oh, they canceled it.
Nicely done.
Dire's top
Had to
tower
cancel
is
that.
under attack.
Top lane, Loda's going
Radiant's
to
bottom
work here.
tower
It's
is under
without
attack.
surprise that Akke is going to be nearby to
Radiant
bring him back or
structures
bring him
are
bottom lane to help out if necessary. But in the meantime, they're just trying to find the same objectives. And they have the
Radiant's
assistance, as you can
bottom
see.
tower
The
is falling.
Nature's Prophet ulti is helping keeping the waves down and keeping the push live there at the top lane. But they'll eventually pull out. Both teams will pull back at this point. So it's a nice pick for Virtus.Pro, but you can feel like in their body language they were hoping to maybe get a bit more after objective-based. And
Yeah. At the end of the day, despite the fact that S4 canceled this TP and the Wisp Tiny only did chip damage, it is still tier 3 damage that they have to worry out for. And the Aegis does expire. Unfortunately, I didn't hear the sound today. I'm not sure if you did. But Kebap's about to go down. Wow.
He went down just as fast as you said he was about to go down. He is out for the count. Kebap,
Yeah.
it's going to prolong that Blink Dagger longer and longer. Certainly would help with the high ground defense that could be coming their way sooner than later. And then I don't know how long before Alliance have to pull out that Plan B book and be like, okay, we got to go with the rat tactics here. We got to go with the split push. They have some of the best in the game to do so. You know, Wisp Tiny, Nature's Prophet. I mean, are we already approaching that territory part of the game, or do you think Alliance still are in that good spot where they had comfortable space and map vision? Those don't exist as much anymore.
Oh, is Akke gonna get caught out here?
Nope. Oh,
Wow.
they go the other way. No, S4's still in the woods. Minding his own business.
Oh my gosh, is
and
he dead?
he's surrounded. Oh, goodness. Ouch.
The answer is yes.
Man, he got
He is
crushed.
indeed dead.
14-6, Virtus.Pro still very, very strong spot. A lot of it is on the back of G, of course. Silence still, you know, he didn't go over the Midas or anything. He went extra mobility, you know, Blink Force Staff. You know, this game is mostly on G at this point. And without having Slardar with a lot of farm, there is a bit of a ticking clock for Virtus.Pro at this point.
You know, that's what I thought before as well, but given how Alliance are playing and how they're losing their cores and important heroes at this point, I'm just not sure anymore.
Oh, really?
The Tiny, as we know, is susceptible to kiting to a Viper. And this Viper has a Blink Dagger, so if he wants to kite a target, he will get in position to do so. The more important thing is the Queen of Pain and the Nature's Prophet, they're just not getting the farm that they're looking for. And Bulldogs finally began purchasing up the Aghanim Scepter here, or creating the pieces anyway. He's got the point booster and he's like 2k away from completing it. But they really are losing a lot of kills. And I thought from the early game, from the chain of kills that they had earlier, like they were playing this really, really well. But now, I think they're slowly starting to fall apart.
And Virtus.Pro have made things work and adapted appropriately. And it looks like G's next object is trying to be a BKB, and boom! See you later.
Wow.
That blinking Viper, quick to react, makes it out from trouble. And Loda's not able to get the catch, and Alliance will have to turn tail and walk away, but will all of them make him out safely. Uh-oh, Bulldog gets blocked, they roll in, they uppercut, he can't make it out. He's down. G gets the mega kill there, and that was supposed to be an Alliance smoke movement into the woods for a G pickoff, and they end up losing one of their own.
Man, just playing Nature's Prophet into a Tusk and a Slaughter, I can't imagine. That must not be fun. S4 though.
Oh, he's able to blink.
Man, he
Can
baited
they
them
find
out.
him? They
No, he got
found him. The Bloodhounds were out, and they found the trail. They do get help, though, relocate in. Comes out from Loda and Akke, and they're able to get the crush. They take down 2. And it looks like they're going to be relocated back and away when they want to finish off the bird. That was a nice turnaround for Alliance. It cost them a relocate, but they got the job done.
S4 laid the trap, and Phobos now, I think he might go down as well.
A double trap. Phobos going to get dropped now.
Yeah.
That
He really set the trap on that one. What I initially thought was a misblink turned out fantastic for him as he was able to silence the target. And G goes down at top. Never mind Alliance not picking it up. They're doing it, man.
Yeah, what the hell's going on right now? They just flipped the script within a minute of us bringing it up. They're just suddenly got it together. After that shaky engagement into the VP Woods, suddenly they find a beautiful relocate bottom, and opportunities continue to open up here. S4 etches himself away, and he will be out from trouble here. And suddenly Alliance are well back into the game. What was turning into a 3K net worth of lead for Virtus.Pro is now back square even.
And they just gotta keep doing exactly what they just did. As soon as they get vision, if they can bring out some of the, or draw out some of the forces on VP, but not in full force. So if they split them up in like 2 to 3 or small packs and skirmishes, they will definitely get the advantage with the relocate, Furion global presence, Queen of Pain, mobility, whatnot. But as we've seen before, 5v5 is not the way to go. And there is a slight potential for the 5v5 if the Roshan fight breaks out. And Roshan is up now, and I think both teams need to be wary of that. But for the time being, Alliance, they're holding the advantage.
And I gotta say, I feel like that advantage might just get easier and easier for them as time goes on, because as you look at it, and once Bulldog finishes this Aghanim Scepter and he turns into that real pain in the butt, or that Nature's Prophet ulti just bounces through and all of a sudden all of your lanes are getting pushed in at once. Look at the wave clear from Virtus.Pro. It's
They've got nothing, man.
They don't have anything, man. They have like Dazzle Heal. It's like,
yeah.
hope to God that is going to be enough. Outside of that, it's just not that good. And when they have to frantically split their precious team apart, now they're killing people, it looks like here. Phobos gets caught out bottom lane, goes down to relocate from Loda and Akke. They're just not going to have an answer for all that pressure, and they can't afford to split up. Top lane, though, Silent gets him on the comeback, and he's still alone. But now Lil's able to show up. They get a toss back, force away from Silent. Now looking to re-engage, but they get the help from Bulldog here, who does TP in Lil. Going to be going down first. Loda bats him on down. Now with the Whomping Willow, and they're looking for more. Silent, though, is sprinted up, but not the Dazzle. He gets catched, tossed up and down, but will not be taken apart yet. He still holds the shallow grave. Can he get it off? Oh, he got it off at the last second. My goodness. Now, though, it's not going to matter as they go ahead and just continue chasing on forward. They even give him with the urn. G going to be almost trapped, is able to force away from trouble thanks to Silent. Silent going to be eating the Sonic Wave, and he goes down. Alliance now pulling the game out, as they're able to just etch kill after kill after kill. It's like the third time we've seen it this game, and they're already going to work on this tier 3.
Yeah. I really do think at this stage of the game, Alliance have a superior strategy. And VP, of course, going in 1-by-1 like that, definitely not the solution here. In the end, they do pay the price. Viper is orchided up now, and this tier 3 will go down for sure. But I imagine Alliance are just going to try to play it slow for the time being, because they don't have all of their ultimates as they would like to.
G commits in, but he's a single target kind of a guy. He's just hoping to get the Wisp. Now they do get him down. They turn their focus on the Loda, get him. Phobos is already moving on forward. That means Bulldog's going to get left there. He goes down. It's a buyback, relocate, coming back from Akke and Loda. They're looking to finish this game out here and now. If they could get these kills, this game could be theirs. And it looks like they're going to be able to knock down Lil, but his birds starting to do a bit of work on Akke, and oh, he brings them both back to base. Don't know if it was intentional or not, but the rest of the team has got to get the hell out. Silent is back. He's looking to move in, misses the crush, but almost gets S4 there. But he is still going to be on the chase. Points at him, gives him the amp damage. But,
he needs to drop the Blink Dagger.
Oh no, he can't get away from the birds. And that means that they will go ahead and stun him down, and Kebap will be crushed and taken care of.
Nicely done on the chase there. Again, I thought Alliance should have had to have that sense of urgency to back out immediately. Now we see G chasing in. Doesn't miss Blink, but I don't think he would have been able to kill S4 anyway, because he had the Blink up as soon as he went into the high ground, into the fog. So I think the next thing they have to look for is, well, Akke is going to die here, and he just bought back, I think, so that's a free kill. Probably they're opening to Roche, and Alliance might have just allowed VP to come back.
Yeah, this is now VP's chance as they will scout out the Roches up. They could decide to go right for it, but they're hoping for a quick pick here on Bulldog, and this is why you hate Tusk. When you're playing Nature's Prophet, there's just nowhere to easily hide. He just rolls on in there, brings company, and you go down. Virtus.Pro can now fight their way out from this lane and go right for the Roche, and G's already getting it started, and now we're back the other way. Clairvoyance, I feel like we've just been like that all game long. It's Alliance's advantage with a 3-man multi-kill from Loda, and then they just start losing. Then they have a big comeback, big relocate return, and they just start losing. And Virtus.Pro are back in the pit once more. We'll have the Aegis, while Alliance are up to something fishy, top lane.
Lots of back and forths, for sure.
It's a close series, man, between these both teams. I don't know what kind of credit we throw to what side. If Alliance are matching up to Virtus.Pro, or Virtus.Pro are just not on their A game yet. I mean, you gotta remember, both these teams now have very fresh rosters. This is only the second day of Silent playing with Virtus.Pro, and this is the first day of Mr. Kebap playing for Alliance.
Yeah, it's actually funny. For now, I would say Alliance actually have the newer roster in that sense. Even though I think the 4 seasoned veterans on that team have well more than played enough with each other, kind of thing. It's the change in the 4th, 5 position hero or player is actually like a way bigger deal than changing your carry. I don't want to say Illidan's like very similar to Silent, and I'm sure the team had its reasons of switching the players the way they did. But switching out the carries, like if you ever have a stand-in situation, you want to replace your carry them more than your support, because they're the shot callers, they're the ones that are watching the minimap, and generally have a more impact in terms of the mental aspects of the game.
Yeah, support players are almost a dime a dozen for many regions.
Dime a dozen, yeah.
Good support players are just hard to come by, and nobody wants to play that shit. So everyone wants to be the the Kobe Bryant. Everyone wants to be the point guard. Nobody wants to be the towel boy or the coach / towel boy. It just sucks, but
Kobe Bryant style. Just announce your retirement, chuck 17 threes in a game.
Yeah, the guy. It feels like something he can just dictate if he wants to have a good game or not. Some games I feel like that guy just does not give a fuck. He just throw up 35-foot 3-pointers. I think he doesn't care at all. But enough about sports ball. We're into digital sports here. We got Virtus.Pro now smoked up and on the move back. You got to remember they have the Aegis here still on G, so it's their game to dictate right now if they should go and use his Aegis for offensive purposes, or if they got to stall back. Or if they don't have a say in the matter, because it's starting to feel like the choking is beginning here, Clairvoyance. The Bulldog Agnems is out, and all these lanes are going to start. It's going to be very hard for Virtus.Pro to keep these lanes across the river. Yeah,
it's already showing its impact now. Loda's already pushing on the very far other side of the map. The jungle ward is scouting the woods and saying that nobody on VP is in the vicinity or in the area. At least not like at least unless they're under the guise of a smoke or something like that. Now Loda gets scouted out by a VP ward in their own woods, but they're so far that it's going to take some time for them to arrive.
And they're crossing over the Alliance ward right now, which they will see, they will take down, and the VP will know that our there's no point in trying to find them. They already have seen us. The jig is up. Let's head back the other way. Where Alliance are pressuring the bottom lane now, just teeter-tottering the map a bit.
The Alliance rat.
Yeah.
This is a throwback right here. The surprising thing to me in all this is that Viper has been top of the net worth for the entirety of the game.
He is content on moving out each of these lanes, farming them up, and usually is the one to bring in the kills. He's 6-1, so...
Yeah, it's like everywhere he goes, they run from, because they know they can't deal with this guy. I mean, they could, and we've seen him die once, of course, so they can do it again. But it's hard, it's not easy to create that scenario right now.
And he is muscling up or trying to. It looks like he's going to be building into an AC at this point. I think that's a good call at this point, getting the extra bit of utility here. I'm not one to usually call out for the Ags very often. I don't know how much priority is on the Tiny, but I guess it will help with pushing back a bit. It helps their creep wave stay a bit stronger, their team a bit stronger. It's not huge minus armor on the side of Alliance.
Yeah, they have a lot of minus armor, as you said, on the side of VP, however, so... Yeah. This Viper doesn't have to build too much towards damage. AC is just going to complement the minus armor as well as the tankiness, so it's probably one of the best items.
Yep, you're right. The amp damage, can't forget that. He's halfway to level 16. I think it's a bit dramatic. Minus 20, so... Low to mid lane here. Akke's close, but not very close. If they make a jump right now... Alright, no. S4 is going to be there. We'll see. Now Akke shows himself. And just like that, tower goes down. It's a Tiny after all, folks, and you gotta remember this is one of the best demo men in the freaking game. He will truck down a tower within just a few strikes. Speaking of towers going down, G gets his own top.
Silent was going in for the snipe on S4, at least canceling his TP. It was very, very close. S4 just got out of there in the nick of time, but almost got him with the 4-staff blink. As we see this game, he's kind of playing the slaughter role from the safe lane, like you would play it if you had a Wisp Tiny. It's actually very weird for me to see it this way. He bought up the blink as well as the 4-staff, and he's been already using it a few times, but he's got the BKB now. And I'm curious to see what he's going to transition into from here on out, because G's the one that's picked up the AC. So I wonder what he's going to get.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Shiva's, or unless he needs to build in more personal damage for himself. It's going to be hard to say. You don't see typically Slaughters in this particular position as that safe lane farmer, so it's really hard to gauge. But in the meantime, Alliance, not ones in this particular game to go for a whole lot of confrontation. They're just kind of happy to split pressure out the map as much as possible, and eventually Tiny's just get to a point that there's just not going to be much that could stand in front of him. The boy has a mood shard at this point, and he'll still have the extra room once he does decide to devour that up.
That's actually a sort of risky pickup in my opinion. I think the team still needs an AC, and he's pretty lacking on the mana, the armor department. I mean, he has the Manta style to break off the amp if it ever comes casually.
Maybe Queen of Pain's picking up an AC instead. She has 3k. Maybe.
Yeah, I think he's definitely debating it. He kind of wants BKB as well. I know it's just 2 stunners on the Slaughter and the Tusk, but I think it's been demonstrated this game so far that anytime he does get stunned, it's like he will melt. This Queen of Pain with 9 armor is like absolutely nothing and will rip apart the shreds against the Dazzle and the Slaughter and all these other things.
I guess also Loda may figure that he's not looking to get into a fight soon before he can pick up his next item, I guess, even on top of that. But
yeah, the Moonshard definitely helps his farming process as well. Yeah. It's unfortunate that the Manta Illusions don't get the benefit.
Yeah. Well, him and Bulldog both keep these lanes pressured as ever, and Virtus.Pro are going to have to continue playing this game of back and forth as they swamp through the top lane and push it back out. And watch them now as they head through the mid lane, where, what do you know, Alliance is already pushing into the high ground just with all that pressure. They're going to have to clear this one out, and then they'll go all the way to the bottom lane and help there, where that one's also pushing into the base. And then by the time they look back at
Alliance, Dota.
And then you look back at top lane, and what Alliance are already picking up the slack and keeping the top lane in. This is just they're Virtus.Pro, like, it's one of those things, like, if you watch this replay at like ×5 speed and just look at the mini map, you're just gonna see him like bounce back and forth, trying to just cover all these lanes at this point.
Yep.
It's gotta be real frustrating.
This is the superior strategy in Dota. The splitting up the enemy and pushing in lanes is far better than relying on heavy execution on single targets.
Yeah.
When it comes to pass, it'll look like it's the way stronger strat, but just logically speaking and mentally speaking, it's way easier to pull off just a split push kind of thing.
And Dota is an objective game after all. It's not about getting the most kills. You just got to get those towers down, and that's how Alliance are playing this game.
Finish the BKB S4. Just one shot at the whole thing.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He's got a gem now. He wants to start clearing out the wards. A nice move. They just want to add on to the map control they have.
And, well, it looks like Bulldog has a certain Mystic Staff now in his possession here. Are we anticipating the ever-so Octarine Core to be coming up?
I think so. Yeah, I think they recognize that this game, all they have to do is just split push and chip down the towers. S4 is not going to get picked. He has the Invis Rune, and, of course, he has the Blink as well as a last resort. He'll be able to walk away and still keep his gem to be able to deward and take away the vision on the side of BP.
A little bit deep here. Okay, be careful. A little too close to Loda, but they don't see him, so they'll be fine. And what do you do now if you're Virtus.Pro and you're kind of just seeing, you know, you live out your days in defense, playing this defense lane game? You want to obviously change things up. I mean, what's the best way of doing it? Or is it waiting out for the Roche to come back? Silence actually taking a bit of damage here. Hold on. Oh, goodness. Oh, boy, they roll back onto Loda, but they quickly realize this Rockman is gone. Well, they pulled him right back. Where did they go? All the way back to base? I guess they feared that there was help coming in. I mean, it was a 3-on-1 at the time, but I don't know. I almost felt like Loda was like, hey, we might be able to fight this. Guess not the case. Akke makes his return. He will be the martyr of this trade. He goes down, and they catch out S4 trying to come that way, but S4 gets his own kill, finishing out FNG, uses the Sonic Wave and Orchid, and that's going to be enough to take down the little support. What's Bulldog doing? You know, Nature's Prophet stuff. He'll be pushing out the top lane.
A lot of treants at mid. All these single target attacks just trying to wear them down.
He just runs them past the wave. It's like, yeah, I'm going to get every little chip of damage possible. One little smack from that creep is one more smack towards it being fallen. So, look at this. Even now, top lane. Yeah, we're on the racks. What are you going to do about it? And Viper's like, I got to take down each one at a time. He should have got a Mjolnir, dude.
Oh, gosh. And Tiny at bottom, sending in the illusions. You know, with S4 picking up the illusion rune at top, I was thinking maybe Manta is his next fight. He can keep doing this as well. And
that would just,
these buildings are getting
so
chipped down.
Unconfrontational. That's all I can say. It's just ridiculous. Just like, we'll just do the work for us, peasants. Do it all. Just send in the trees, send in the illusions, and we'll just continue to farm the majority of the map, and it just starts to restrict VP's map so much, bit by bit. They have no great way of farming. Speaking of Mjolnir's, Maelstrom already up. They just need to start doing that. Vlad's, Mjolnir's.
That's the first of a few, I imagine. I think
Yeah.
G's next item is definitely going to be some sort of AoE-centric type of item, and he wishes Battle Fury cleaved for ranged heroes.
Yeah, I don't know. G definitely needs to get one too. It's just too hard for him to keep these lanes pushed out. All that work gone now. One
Yeah.
Nature's Prophet ult, and now the creeps are going back into the base. He's been stuck up here for like, you know, a full 2 minutes, it feels, and then S4, they spot him out, they have the vision, they move in, and he goes down.
Oh my gosh, he lost the gem.
Uh-oh. All right, that's a nice little freebie there for
Dire's
Virtus.Pro.
top barracks
It's one
are
step
under
in the right
attack.
direction, but I still don't know. It's going to be a while before they could comfortably get enough to push out from these lanes.
Oh, yeah.
Dire's
And go
middle
on an
tower
adventure.
is under
Ooh.
attack.
Bulldog's ultimate's coming up in 7 seconds, Kotl. 7
Oh.
seconds. Oh dear.
It's just not right. And, you know, that's when you feel the timing window just ends up expiring, because at this point you may have shut down Bulldog a lot through the game, but he is at his prime now. He's got all the tools he could need to be a dirty little rat, and he's going to do so.
Yep. Both Wisp and Tiny poured top, but I think as soon as they show themselves on the map, BP are going to be super confident in doing this Roshan. They're a little bit wary now because they don't see anybody, but they realize that S4 is down for 30 seconds, and whatever engagement happens without the Queen of Pain is probably going to be in their favor. So they're going to take this down relatively quickly here.
Oh, yeah.
It's Aegis and Cheese.
Roshan has fallen to the tower.
Yummy, yummy here. Virtus.Pro will need the extra life, but if they're hoping for a 5-on-5, I don't know if they're going to find one anytime soon. Something like an Aegis grab, I can't help but feel like will only alert Alliance to play even more cautious. You know, make sure they don't get caught up in too much of a
Yeah,
crazy
pretty
fight.
much.
They're just going to be like, now we got to go extra precautious here. And he goes MKB
Oh, wow.
on Viper. It's more single target, but he hopes that if he ever gets his slow butt onto anyone, he will be sure to take them down. But it's
Radiant's
going to be hard to
warrior
find
has
that
been
fight.
killed.
Yeah, I wonder if it's...
By the way, they just got the Radiant Courier here. Phobos scouted it out, blinked in, and just uppercutted it. It only had a smoke, but it is a Radiant Courier down.
It also gives them the awareness that they're there, and or at the very least they have vision. So I think Alliance have to play more wary in that area in general. But yeah, I'm surprised he picked up the MKB here. He's there's no solar crest or anything like that from what I see, and I know Tiny might naturally be a butterfly builder, but I'm not even sure if that's ever going to be an issue with all the minus armor they have. And S4, you know, he's probably not going to get that evasion, so I don't know. I think Mjolnir was definitely the correct choice here. And
Yes,
yeah,
I saw that as
Has
well.
a Maelstrom.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
when you know, like, you got to get it. Oh! Nice little side step, but it doesn't matter. Ow! Oh! Dazzle's dead, for sure. That's the gem. Back the other way. Lil sprouted up, caught out. Desperate to make it away. Dishing out the birds. Can he stun him up with the birds and keep him away? He certainly can. Thanks, my little children. And now, what's this? Phobos looking to go in. No, he does not. He jukes back. They know they can't win this fight, and they are going to get it regardless. Phobos will be going down first to Loda. Creeping in the other way is Silent here, but where's G? Our big damage. He will eat up the Sonic Wave. He's looking to get a hold of a fight, but it ain't coming too easy. There, he's going to get a hold of Akke. Akke will go down. And, you know, this is the best fight they could ask for
Dire's
so
top barracks
far.
is under attack.
But even if they end up getting kills like this one on Kebap, they are going to have a hard time following it up with. I mean, what the hell? He just drops an Echo. He's really making Silent work for this. And, he makes it away. But they have vision. He finally catches up, gets the stun. It's all in good fun, but now, look, Bulldog's back.
Dear.
And Silent will go down. And look who lives at the end of the day.
Yeah, very nicely executed by the side of Alliance there. The whole sequence of Echo, Enchant Totem stun, and Aftershock stun again.
Dire's bottom
Really, really
tower
nicely
Hey,
done.
bottom lane, fools! This is just so filthy.
And the range racks at top actually went down in the process as well.
Yep. Oh, man. And that's
Oh,
this
dear.
is coming off Virtus.Pro taking a decent fight, and then just crazy overextension from Silent, but they knew they couldn't go too far from home because home is in danger. I mean, you got
This game, it could very well go to that point where the particles on the map break. I'm starting to see it.
This is just got to be very frustrating for a team like Virtus.Pro. Finding an opportunity to take a fight is not going to be coming easy. I mean, they haven't even needed to use the Aegis, but as said before, you know, Only alerts Alliance to play a bit more cautiously so that they don't have to worry about confronting VP while they have that benefit of an Aegis.
Yeah, I would actually argue the Aegis hurts them now. G's missing a 6th slot.
Oh boy. Well,
refresher.
The last piece
Oh,
of the
gosh.
Bulldog puzzle is done, and he has reached near his final form. I guess the only difference would be him getting, like, what, Boots of Travel 2 on top of it. Speaking of which, Viper gets his own, but Bulldog, yeah. This is just, this is the first few times we'll see, like, bottom lane past the river.
Yep, pretty
And
much.
even that is, like, an effort. He's like, oh, G's been down here for what feels like forever just trying to keep the lane back. It's just
Finally,
sucks.
we see the river.
He's
Time
like,
to cross the Nile.
But the tier 1 was already down. He's just trying to get closer towards that tier 1. But as he does that, top lane's getting ready to push in. That's the sound of a new ultimate coming out. He's got a new set of goblins over here. They're heading towards the top lane. Silence crushing waves as best as he can. Just keep him back in at bay.
I think the next item for both S4 and Bulldog has to be Sheep here, though. Despite the fact that they can still scale if they even up the item count, like get AC, Shivas, and all these other items, it would be nice, but with this philosophy of always dodging fights, if they just get Sheep Sticks, they'll make the pickoffs that much easier with the vision advantage they have. And with Loda's damage, I think that's what they should play for here on out. So I imagine Bulldog will get the Sheep Stick for sure. And S4 could still very well get like an AC or Shivas or something like that, but I think a Sheep Stick would be good on him as well.
I could also just see him getting a Necro book, just really being terrible. But I agree. The Sheep Stick would help him get the cap advantage to kind of find a jump and utilize the map awareness they already got. But Virtus.Pro, they need to get a bit ambitious. It looks like Silent can help himself. He's like, I got to get this DD rune. But they're smoked up, and they are going to continue to head towards the bottom lane here. They're hoping to get a catch onto Loda and Akke, but they're already taking a very
Dire's
defensive
bottom
position
tower is
here.
under attack.
Recognizing that there's only G mid lane and no one really farming out top. They're going to go in bottom lane now. And it's a man fight here onto Loda while Lil's looking to finish off Akke, but he's got the relocate and he is out. They are back at the base. While this is happening, S4 is going to begin to make his move, but so is Bulldog in the bottom lane. Inside the base now, and quickly TP's out. And frantically, while they wait for Akke to come back, the rest of Virtus.Pro are going to have to TP back to the base.
Man, this is so frustrating if you're VP. The tower tier 3 going down to about 20-25% life points, and it's only going to get worse from here on out. As we know, the tier 3 does not regen along with the range Raxes. And top Rax is starting to take some siege now. Fortunately for them, that one does regen at 5 HP per second, but G just picked up a Morbid Mask. That is not a Maelstrom or a Mjolnir. And Loda's Illusions at mid. Oh my goodness. Alliance are back.
What is he building? Is he building for a Satanic eventually? It's just...
I don't know. I feel like he's already tanky enough.
It's like
with
he's
the
building up
BKB.
for a man fight I don't think he's going to get. And when he does get that man fight, he may come out the victor, but then he'll be like, yeah, right, guys? And he looks back and his home base is just destroyed. It's like, oh, wait, that matters.
Even a Manta would do, I feel. You know, with the corrosive skin illusions, you can send them out ahead of the creep wave, creep skip, and let the creeps kill themselves. It's just something. I don't know. Just, I mean, the mask does give him sustain. I'll give him that. But right now, like, I just don't think it's his issue, and he really needs a 6 slot that's really effective against this split push.
Looks like Kebap and Mr. Bulldog here are going to wait up to the north and see if anyone pushes forward. Could set up for perhaps a dunk engagement, but Virtus.Pro already have to attend elsewhere to plug up all leaks on this map. S4 even adding the pressure bottom. He'll peace out. He's got 4.5k here. Maybe he does as you said and goes for like a sheep stick build up or something. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he plays along in this dirty kind of a game and gets himself a Maelstrom or something. We'll see.
I think if he wanted the sheep, he would have bought the Void Stone. I see him walking towards the side shop now. Yeah, he's got something.
Okay.
He's got the ultimate orb now. Maybe he's doing the classic old style where you buy the ultimate orb first, because the Void Stone as well as the Mystic Staff used to be in the secret shop. But now it's the other case where the ultimate orb and the Mystic Staff are in the secret shops.
Oh, Bulldog gets caught out.
Wow.
Silent
They're
spotted
deep,
him
though.
out. They TP'd in. Viper with those fancy new shoes, but while he's TP'd in there, that means no one's going to be top. How's Viper going to get back? Because Loda's just ramming down these racks. That's the fight. He got his fight. Congratulations, but home base is in trouble. And they're just going to be able to clean this one out. But look at that. They're jumping behind lines. And credit to Lil. Finishes out Akke, which means Loda's going to be stranded. And he goes down. Now, he does have a buyback. All's good there. The rest of the Alliance don't get caught out and frantically go to the other lanes to push out, but hey, this is a move in the right direction for VP.
I do not care to see that dark gray.
Nice buyback from Bulldog. I thought he really needed to buy back. The lanes, they don't ever want their towers getting hit by VP at this point, and I think Bulldog buying back was absolutely necessary to ensure that the tower doesn't take damage.
As you can see now, bottom lane already going to be back in order here for Alliance. As VP are trying their best. They're going to charge down mid lane. They're like, we got to get something from this, all right? We're overdue for these kind of victories, and let's see if we can keep these lanes back. Oh, God, it's those trees again. They're going to run right past everything.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, they get Queen of Pain down. Bottom lane.
He melted. The simple stun after a blink, and then G just poured it in on top, and they right-clicked him down before the Fisher could even do anything. So, VP, they're in position again. With Tiny down for 30 seconds, they're starting to hit the buildings, and they'll get this tier 2 for sure, I imagine. It's just after that, what's next is the question.
I don't know. We'll see. Virtus.Pro unable to be very effective here in the mid lane. They're able to step out and find pickoff opportunities, but I'm still just not convinced they're able to follow it up with anything too fruitful here. But they are now in the mid lane, and they're going to make a move in. They're looking to get a hold of the Earthshaker, who's able to get off the dunk, but it doesn't matter. The snowball is already well in play, and that's going to lead into a tier 2 takedown here. Virtus.Pro. I don't think I was going to see them take a tower down anytime soon, but it's going to happen here. And oh, they can't get the Dazzle top lane. A relocate's going to be in, but Avalanche comes just a touch too late. And now here we go.
That's a scary relocate. Yeah, Loda doesn't have a TP, so he had to drop his Moon Shard for that. Or did he consume it? He consumed it, and he had picked up the TP. Really needs bots to keep doing what he wants to do here.
G also needs to wait for his own TP. He's got
oh my gosh,
seconds,
Bulldog doesn't have buyback.
and he is dead. Quickly down. Out going to be for 90 seconds. No buyback here. Virtus.Pro are still dancing around this mid lane. And I want to see if the rest of the team is going to be there to back them up. They still have to deal with this leak in the top lane, but this is Virtus.Pro's chance. One of the best windows they could ask for here with Bulldog being out for so long.
They have a creep wave. Earthshaker doesn't have Echo Slam. This is definitely their best admin. Oh, the creep wave will sound, however. So they're going to have to wait another 15 seconds or so before the next creep wave arrives.
Yep.
That's time for Alliance.
And Loda's still doing work top lane. Still holds that TP. He's just going to keep the pressure there while he can. Wait for the return of Bulldog if necessary, and only return to the base if he needs to take the fight. Even sending his illusions all the way to mid lane here. FNG is just like, no. No. I want to keep our tier 3. Well, we'll see if Virtus.Pro are going to be able to find their fight mid lane. It's taking a bit long. 30 seconds. Bulldog will be back. They got to get something out of this. G does hit pretty hard once he gets his hands on the tower, but another wave will be going down to the low cooldown of that Sonic wave.
Wow, they're playing this way slower than I thought. I thought the Viper would just walk up high ground here, and it turns out Lil, yeah, they were just hunting Loda instead. There's an urn on him. He cannot blink.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And G doesn't have his blink any longer, but there we go. They got the boots of travel here for Silent. Akke relocates in, but he needs Loda to stay alive if he wants to go back with them. He's not going to stay alive. Akke's going to be stranded, and now Silent moving in, but he's going to be able to get away. He's gone. Last second of that relocate's going to be able to save him. And already preemptive measures here from Alliance to push out the other lanes.
Yeah, Bulldog is back, and he's splitting already. FNG has a Mjolnir. He put the static charge on him. It's doing so much work. Holy crap. He cleared out a whole creep with his Dazzle just by right clicks.
Very nice. Well, they need it now. Looks like the plan could be crumbling a bit here for Alliance. This is Virtus.Pro's time. Another big takedown, and this time they're well past the river here. Silent already scouting out the front lines here.
Uh-oh, and they're looking at Bulldog.
Yeah, they're running that way. He does have a lot of gold now. He should have his buyback ready this time, but he might be trapped. Oh, they find out Kebap instead. And he will get his dunk off, but he will go down, and that will create the space for Bulldog to at least make it back safely. Virtus.Pro will deal with bottom lane, and S4 mid lane. Yeah, this is just crazy. This tower may be going down. No one's back in time.
Well, luckily for them, they have Visage Birds, and the micro's a little bit falling off here. I guess Bulldog's busy with his main here on top.
Oh, I don't blame the guy. At this point, you got so many trees all over the place. You just got kids all over the place. You don't know what to do.
One from here, one from there.
Yeah. But they're still able to relieve the pressure. We have yet to see Virtus.Pro put themselves inside the Alliance base. Loda's back now, and everything's fine. And while they're able to get more of the kills and these pickoffs, just got to keep making the follow-up happen. And they are able to get a grab on the bomb lane Tusk. They'll get the solo pick. Loda will get the grab there. It was a relocate used. All right, nice grab. But it's all the better for Alliance. The game goes longer. This gets more frustrating for VP.
Honestly, at this point, I must beg the question: does it really? Because they've invested so much into this split push strategy.
They will need to get a win here and keep their dreams alive of moving on into the playoff round, into a good upper bracket spot. Oh, they're committing in. They're going to use that sheep to get a hold of Silent now. Silent assistance is on the way. And there's G. Pops is going to be looking to TP in back into the action here. Loda is going to go down. Loda
oh, and Bulldog batting bottom.
And this is it. He's trying to make the most of it, but Silent's already back in action there. Jumps, crushes him, and it looks like Bulldog is going to be going down. His little critters are trying their best. But this is Virtus.Pro's time, and they are beelining it towards the Alliance base now.
Everybody still has bots available. I mean, I say that FNG and Silent, they still need 20 seconds on the bots, but no real surprises if they do make it in time. So I think it'll be fine.
We'll see here. It's been quite a while since we see Virtus.Pro able to kind of touch the prestigious Alliance base here. But this is their chance to move in and get some serious work done. Loda and Bulldog will possibly need to expend their buybacks. They don't want to be risking serious loss of racks here. It looks like Bulldog's going to pop his. Nature's ulti.
What's he going to do? Is he going to port bottom? Is he going to port mid? What is he going to do?
I'm trying to keep my eyes on the mini-map just to watch out for what the hell is going to be happening here. He sprouts up the racks, and it will fall shortly after. As they do this, there it is. It's going to be the relocate to the mid lane here from Alliance. And Loda immediately has to blink out. FNG, they're waiting for him, and so is Silent, and they're going to get the kill on Akke. It looks like Alliance are not going to be able to rat their way out of this game. Virtus.Pro have held on strong. They're taking out the bottom set of racks. Now only 3 left alive for them. And they're trying to put a final hurrah here on the Phobos as he's BK beat up. The rest of Virtus.Pro, though, already making their move back onto the mid lane. They're going to take down the tier 3, the racks to follow. Mid lane, they relocate in for Silent, or they at least boot to travel in for Silent. He's not going to make it out. He goes down. S4 gets the catch onto him, and now they're going to be looking for FNG. Toss in the club. He eats the cheese, forces up to the high ground, and will TP out from trouble. Back into base.
Clutch.
Oh, Phobos
and
get the catch.
The Craggy proc on the Tusk.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Loda makes it out back into base. Sonic Wave from S4. Scooches out and away from trouble. And there we'll have the dust possibly, finally, come to a bit of a settle. Do want to apologize, of course. The stream, for some whatever reason, went down. One of those things, Clairvoyance, you know. I'm perfectly fine in the game watching it, but the stream will go down, similar to like Skype. I don't know what the hell happens, but we're back now. And as you can see, the story has unfolded that Alliance still not able to just creep and rat their way through. They get a little bit of love in there on the return, but Virtus.Pro were able to take out the bottom set of racks.
Oh, no. So close. I don't think he has buy. Oh, he does have buyback. Never mind. So it would have been okay, I guess. But that was a close call, man.
Boy, oh boy. I mean, looking at the net worth, I don't think it really tells much to the story.
Yeah. At this point, it's like both teams can kill whoever they jump on. So
it's who will get that jump and win.
Yeah.
Mid lane, it's Alliance more on the offensive here while they can. But they caught someone else back on the other side. It's Lil making a move for Loda here, but Lil far from home. Snowball's coming in. Lil still alive, will go down. That's a gem on the deck. He will buy back. G and company forcing themselves forward onto Akke, but Akke is going to get the relocate back and over. On the other side, FNG up in arms here with S4. S4 is going to blink away from trouble. Kebap pops down. The Echo Slam will finish off FNG. And now they turn back for DK, but look at this. Look what's happening. Riddled throughout the base. Little Treon monsters taking it home. Mid lane racks are down. Bottom lane racks are down. And the tier 4s starting to be in a little bit of jeopardy here. Alliance get what they need, and they get the hell out.
Oh, they most certainly do, and they have finally done it. After a grueling 25 minutes slugfest, since they were able to get items but unable to break each other's bases for certain reasons, picks, whatnot, they finally break the base of VP. VP are stranded on their base, facing against Mega Creeps, and now G, the lone man with the highest net worth on the board since minute 1 of the game, charging through mid. Is he going to be able to do it?
This is it. The final hurrah, gentlemen. We'll see if they'll be able to get it done. Do they even have buyback potential? They do on G at least. That's it. Goes down once. He could buy back TP in, but we'll see. This comes with Akke also having relocate, though, with Loda. They could just as easily
Yeah, just rat the throne.
just rat the throne. There's no glyph available for Virtus.Pro anymore.
Silent, the lone crusader inside the base.
I will go down
S4
with my
already in
ship.
position as well. Oh man.
And look at this. They changed course. Virtus.Pro are not going to do the all-in down mid lane. They are going to recognize that there is possibly trouble coming from up and above, and they will.
I think they'll wait for
move away.
FNG's respawn. Because when he respawns, he'll have buyback as well as another life.
I don't know. Now, again, back to the trouble, defending the base, keeping it away. Did Bulldog purchase anything else that's new? No, he's just got shit ton of gold and could upgrade his boots of travel too. Everything is pretty much in order here for Alliance. The Mega Creeps are already out in full force. I mean, VP...
Oh, G just did it as well. He bought an 8th item this game. He just purchased the full butterfly. I imagine he's going to sell the S and Y for that.
Still not taking the measures to deal with the base any longer. I guess they just assume that it's all going to be down to one quick fight, and they want to
Yeah, for sure.
dish out as much attack speed and damage as they can.
Yeah, I think this is the best item for him here. It's unfortunate that he had to stick with the MKB. Earlier, he was actually so close to proccing the MKB and canceling the Wisp relocate, because the Wisp could have gotten dashed, but here it is, the Roshan coming out of Alliance, and that's extra life as well as cheese for whoever needs it. It's going to be that much harder.
It's not the first time we've seen Alliance able to take the Roche. Now it's Alliance either deciding they want to play the disciplined, patient game to wait for opportunities to open up in front of them to finish out this one, or they just throw bodies at the throne and hope that they can catch VP maybe a bit perplexed. I'm hitting for the former here. That they're just going to go ahead and just chill out while they have the advantage and see what VP's move is going to be and either punish him for it or just be prepared. Someone got a Lotus Orb. Who got that? Phobos. Alright, that's always a fun item in the later game. What are we looking to reflect back? Orchid? Shadow Strike, I guess? That's about it. Purge off the slow, of course. But any little cheeky tech they can as they hold out this game. We're actually almost 70 minutes into this game. This is ridiculous.
We're close, man. We're close to seeing the particles. I believe they
I
start
hate that.
usually around
Yeah.
like 74 minutes.
Yeah. I had the blessing of seeing that. It was a Dark Seer. Freaked the hell out.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It was crazy. It happened at 80 minutes in. I don't know. We'll see. It could happen here. Virtus.Pro, though, never say die. They'll just go ahead and just farm out each lane one by one as a little 4 or 5 man unit here. And again, Bulldog again. Stay back in base. There's my ulti. He's still farming. I don't even know what he's going to farm for. He gets the courier, gets the 7th, 8th slot going. Side necro books. Anyway, Alliance can just kind of cheat their way into this one. Oh, wait, here we go. A move has been made. Top lane, then we're going to go for a little jump and cheap stick. They got the Sonic Wave, but he's going to get the help of the Force to make it back out to safety. And now, snowball engagement coming from Phobos, trying to hit up the Bulldog, but back on the other side, as you can see, Loda's made his own move, making a run for Silent, but they turn it back. That is a quick first life. Kebap makes a jump in, a big echo slam between both G and Lil, but G ain't going to have anything of that. He turns back and right-clicks him on down. A relocate is used as they shift to the bottom lane to avoid any more danger. Virtus.Pro hold strong. They get a couple of kills, force out a buyback and a relocate, and they don't lose an additional tower. Tier 4s both still standing. A swing and a bit of a miss there for Alliance.
Close call indeed. They do hold the towers, and as you mentioned with the buybacks, they're that much closer to being able to push a little bit deeper into Alliance territory, but as it stands, man, Alliance's territory extends to the entirety of the map except the fountain at this point. So They have a nice ward in their own woods there, but it's how much intel it gives right now is certainly not enough.
No.
To say the least.
That is what I like to say. That was step 1 of a 10-step process for Virtus.Pro to get
Yeah.
back to this game.
Well, you could probably see a rinse lather repeat of that 10-step as well.
Just little by little. Aegis is down, and Alliance are a bit at nerves here. I mean, is there a part of this game, from a player's perspective, is Virtus.Pro are going to smoke a move up, that this could end up being just more psychological? Like, eventually, Virtus.Pro are like, haha, how long do you want to keep trying for our throne? We will hold till the end of days.
Well, it looks like we got a move up right here. And Loda, with the quick Manta style, canceling the Blink Dagger of Silent, gets out of that. Very nicely done. And smokes are 12 minutes right now, so every single one counts.
Yeah.
Counts a ton.
S4 committing the ult just to get rid of a couple of catapults, even. Just every little bit to make sure that VP are stuck with their backs against the wall. I mean, Lil is in perfect defensive formation. He's got his birds like trifected out right now. He's like, we got the triangle defense ready to go. This is the zone.
Triangle defense, the zone. This is some Lakers play right here.
Yep. Oh, snowball in from Phobos. A long chase here. Akke's going to be able to make it away, or will he? He's going to commit the BKB. He wants this wisp ball so damn bad. And oh, the force forward. Silent's going to be a swing and a miss, and he is gone. Akke back in the base. Does he have anything? Can he quickly buy a Glimmer Cape? Blink Dagger? Will he make it alive? Place your bets here. Place your bets. Loda goes in. He gets off the dunk. Oh, a little bit of damage done. Akke binds up to him, but Loda may not live. He goes down. 108 seconds. Does have a buyback here. They're looking for follow-up action now as they roll forward onto Akke. Jump in from Kebap. Gets off the dunk for Phobos here, but they're going to be able to clear him down. How's the base looking? The Megas are coming in. They're poking at tier 4s, but Lil with that triangle defense is holding out. That's good. S4 is trying his damnedest, though, to keep the pressure there. Virtus.Pro, another fight in their favor. But, again, another time where they may not be able to utilize it and getting out much further from the base. Oh, this tier 4 is actually going down. Oh, no. Oh, it's so close.
Didn't seem like there were quite enough treants, but that's okay. Bulldog seems to have another way to spawn, like 20 of them in the next 20 seconds. So, when that comes to pass... Oh, hold that thought. S4's gotten caught out.
Uh-oh. S4, who'd been hiding in that little closet trying to push out the lane, has been spotted. He will go down. G picks up that one. Nice little pick for him, bit by bit, but, you know, they have buybacks, and it's not like Virtus.Pro can be in a quick rush to make it to the other side to force out those buybacks. By the time they get there, Loda's going to be alive. You know, S4 maybe will have a 20 seconds or so. But there it is. There it is. Nature's Prophet with that ulti. And next thing you know, top lane's coming in. Bottom lane's soon on the way. And not everyone can commit for a push.
Yeah, this is honestly, at this point, I'm not even sure if Alliance are having fun.
They're just like rushing them into the base in hopes that they will hit this tier 4.
Oh my goodness. You know, normally when you're so seemingly in a dominant position, ready to take it all kind of thing, you're excited, but I'm sure that excitement must have died down like 20 minutes ago when they actually took Mega Creeps and thought VP would give up, but VP are...
Sorry, Bulldog was like TPing almost on top of Silent.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
You know, a nice thing to point out is they actually have a Tinker word, VP, on the right side there, so it's planted. Yeah, it'll scout out the Furion if he ever does something like that.
Yeah, Bulldog now needs to think twice before making those kind of side commitments here. Could get quickly punished. Could be another situation where he won't be able to buy back. But in the meantime, G is trying to get past the river. What's happening bottom lane?
Oh, relocate bottom.
Silent is in trouble. He gets his BKB off. Tries to man mode here. A jump and follow-up dunk. G's also made his presence known. Now they look to man up on Loda. Loda just going toe-to-toe here with G, but G's got all the help needed. Even Crimson Guard going to be popped out, but Loda is gone. Virtus.Pro bully them back once more. Where'd Loda go? He's back down and below. Akke just put him into a safe zone here, but look who was caught out. Kebap. He'll be going down.
Oh, and he has no buyback.
90 seconds. I don't know if it's still enough for Virtus.Pro to get all the way to the other side. They're holding the base. Their tier 4 somehow still stands. A gem just kind of chilling on the deck over here. No one's going to go for it. But
Bulldog just farming the enemy neutrals in the meantime, under vision, mind you. But he doesn't care because he's got all the vision in the world, with the Wrath of Nature being on cooldown for the time being, but soon to come up thanks to the help of the Octarine Core. He's actually picked up that Blink Dagger as well. So as aforementioned, he's gonna commit to this split pushing thing, and it is the right approach. But again, right now it's a tight time for both teams.
Yeah, it's one of the we're in the point in the game. You just can't emulate these kind of games in your sprint play. So it's just you have to take it as it is, and the few opportunities you're kind of stuck in this pickle, you need to start thinking a bit more outside the box.
Yeah.
So how many times we've seen Alliance just starve people out. Virtus.Pro are starting to get a bit frisky, but it's just being able to follow up with anything, and I don't know. It's very,
Actually,
very difficult.
speaking of how many times have we seen Viper have more than 40k net worth in competitive play? This has to be the first time.
Yeah, it's got to be one of the first. I'm sure we got some stats people out there watching that can let us know, but this is definitely the most farm Viper I've seen.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
ever.
and he's about to get engaged on.
Uh-oh, bottom lane. We'll see how much farm is going to help him out here. S4 even committing the refresher here with a secondary Hex, but look who is TP'd in to help out a brother in need, and it is Silent, and he just bops down Bulldog like it's nothing. Back at base, though. Look who's inside. Loda trying to go for the tier 4. It forces no glyph. No glyph used yet, and they have to run back it away. They will relocate out to safety, but they were not even able to get the extra tower. VP so quick to respond and defend.
Oh dear.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Bulldog's top of the net worth chart on his team now. I think Silent's pretty much caught up to it. He's basically 6 slotted. I think the only thing he can really consider dropping at this point is the Force Staff, is assuming he'll probably need the Blink. And, yep. We're still on step 1.
Man, and Roche is almost up soon. Maybe Virtus.Pro are like, that's our window where we're going to pull off this elaborate, great plan to get themselves back in the game, built around this Roche. We'll see. Still got another minute or so. They're pushing down mid lane. I mean, they're taking most of these fights. They got to feel confident about that, but how confident can they be in their back staff, who are also getting pretty heavy, slotted right now. Lil's looking pretty damn rich at this point. Freaking FNG, I'm sure, has been farming a pistol load because he's had that Mjolnir. So he's got a diffusal blade now. I mean, they're able to kind of hold back the base for them, but I don't know how comfortable they could be.
Never comfortable enough in this situation. At least, that's what I can see.
He's trading out some items. He's got some wards. Hoping that he can maintain a little bit of vision out on the side. Catch out a lingering S4, maybe a future Bulldog. But Virtus.Pro, again, not able to really advance past that river. The struggle just continues. But Roche is near up. It's up now. Who's
Yep.
first on the
And
scene? It's Loda.
picks up the haste rune, nicely put, and he's going to be able to rotate bottom with Bulldog as well. Some pings are coming out from S4. I guess he senses some danger as he notices the Tusk that's chasing in and looking for him, I guess. So he's able to get out of that for the time being. And yep, pushing in bottom. Does Bulldog have ultimate? No, it's up in 30 seconds, not a problem.
I'm just gonna keep
What is
these lanes
VP's
back.
next move?
I don't
Refresher on G. How the hell is he even going to use that?
know. He's going to have like that flying duffel bag around or something. Just
Yeah.
kind of swap it out when necessary. I don't know. Outside of that, it's just, maybe he uses his BKB and TP in one skirmish, heads back, pops in the refresher, has a BKB and new TP for the next engagement. But
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, in that sense, he could actually buy a Necro Book as well and still have buyback. But Necro Book probably won't do much aside from the aura at this stage in the game. Oh,
Yeah.
Manta. Manta would be good.
yeah, Manta would be pretty nice. Manta pop, always save the refresh for later. It's actually taking Alliance a bit of muscle power to take down this Roche because I don't even know what number Roche it is, but they'll get it down. Aegis is going to go on Kebap. It's at that point in the game where he's going to be lucky enough to have the extra life. And,
Yeah, I think at this point it's somewhat meaningless. Only a little bit better, I would say, because they have the Wisp, and the Cheese Heal would benefit whoever she's tethered to by 1.5 times as well. So that's nice.
all
They
right.
just finally dewarded that Tinker Ward.
And now it is on Alliance here. Virtus.Pro chose not to put up any sort of fight. I mean, maybe it wasn't their choice and they continued to be pressured back in the base, but they were not available to do any sort of pressure during the Roche grab. Now while Alliance have that extra life and feel pretty commanding here, I mean, for God's sakes, everyone's got an item for themselves and their mother. I mean, maybe consider making it go soon, but I guess Virtus.Pro just not making that opportunity very easy for Alliance. This is going to be their toughest rat test yet.
Yep, well, certainly. And so far, So far, I guess they get a pass. I mean, they have the mega creeps. They've had it for like 20-30 minutes. But this game is definitely very fragile. Between buybacks, it's
Ooh.
all in like the reaction.
Made a spot on the S4 here, and just as they jump in,
they bashed him.
Oh, he hit him hard. He gets bashed. He has to refresher, blink, and BKB away from trouble. And suddenly Alliance are trying to creep in through the mid lane now. They're fighting out with G, but G is not going to get the opportunity to relocate back. We'll save Loda from G and his very scary Satanic. Still tier 4 stands. Been sitting on like 30 life for quite a while now. Mid lane, wow, they're gonna get a quick jump, quick kill on the Akke. The Wisp is down. They got him on the comeback.
He does have buyback though. So again,
Yeah.
and plus Wisp being down is not exactly your key to pushing out the base, especially against the Furion and the Queen of Pain and the Tiny, of course. So back to maybe this is step 2. I don't know. They are assembled as
Step
5 together for the
2.
50. Yeah, maybe.
Step 2 of our 10-step plan where the game gets closed out at 140 minutes.
I really hope it doesn't go that long, man.
I don't think anyone really hopes it does, especially not the players, but what a way to round out this series and what is game 3, the deciding match between these two teams. Alliance's last series of the group stage, so a very valuable one to them. Virtus.Pro would love to be able to just comfortably sit at the top of the group with a win here. But Alliance are not making it easy. They are stuck in the hidden custom game mode that we all hate to play of the tower defense. And
Oh yeah.
they're just going to try their
X0
best.
Siege is what comes to mind, but honestly, at this point, Kotl, I don't know who's fighting for what anymore.
Yeah, right?
It really seems like on the one hand, VP want to fight for survival, but is it really VP fighting for survival or is it Alliance? I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to gauge at times whether or not it's
It's
just
a try-hard game, that's for sure.
Alliance's backup plan to like, go there, now we gotta go there, pressure bottom. Now top's losing pressure, gotta go up there too. And it's just very, very frantic. A lot of rinse and repeat, unfortunately. And as I said before, you get to this point in the game and it's just not something that you're used to practicing, not one that you can easily emulate. The point when your Dazzle and support are all fully 6-slotted and you're at mega creeps for what feels like the past 20
the
minutes.
tier 4 is about to go down.
Is this the moment? Oh, it's going to get denied right there. The Goblin
False
went in.
alarm. He'll have to try again in 45
21
seconds.
Okay. At this rate, this game will be over, maybe another half hour. Oh, Loda moves in! The illusion! Oh, one more swing. It stands at 6 life.
And DkPhobos, in the meantime, has been AFK at the top here inside the woods for some time.
Oh, he's made his move now. Unfortunately, though, he's not going to get the catch. Makes a TP out, and Loda makes his move onto Phobos, who has a BKB.
Wow.
Tossed out, though, from the TP Alliance. Could be doing it now. They're moving in for Phobos. And he will go down. FNG barely alive after that. And Phobos has no buyback. This might be Alliance's moment.
Oh, he does not.
This might be Alliance's moment.
Yeah. This is the time.
Can they do it? They're back at mid lane now. All their ducks in a row. They got to get back into the base. It's on Silent and G and company here to stop this one. Oh, still didn't get that tower.
Oh,
there we
Loda
go.
is
Loda's
going in.
illusions in. We got it now, boy. We got it. Finally, one tier 4 goes down. Another minute before Phobos is back here. Alliance struggling, kind of breaching in.
They're gonna sheep him up.
Oh, they're going to sheep up Silent on the other side. G rotates over. Loda, it's a diversion. Loda's cutting back behind. He's going for the tower. He's like, oh, he tries to go in, but he gets Abyssal bladed up now. He's still going to try to go to work. He's hitting it. He's hoping the cleave will do enough. He even gets help from the Lotus, but he will end up going down. But they get that tier 4. Earthshaker follow-up dunk. Try to make a move here on the Silent. Silent still holds out, crushes up, and now will make his move and get the kill on the Kebap. And
Under attack.
at the end of the day, Alliance may have only just gotten tier 4s from this advantage.
Well, at the very least, they probably don't have to expend buybacks now that the throne is exposed, so they'll all have to watch out for the ever possible reaction coming out of Bulldog as well as S4, who are both extremely mobile at this point. So yeah, they do hold. They don't have to force too many buybacks, and G introduces new item. I didn't even realize he picked up an Abyssal Blade now, but
Yeah.
I guess he replaced
MKB.
MKB for it. I think this is the wise choice. He wants to get a more reliable stun at this point, something that lasts longer, something that he can cast as well. But it's just, again, it's not exactly enough. If Alliance can commit in a 5v4, where they use their sheep sticks and use diversions and misdirect the attention.
seeing Virtus.Pro just not really able to make it out far at all. Just, they move out. There's already a welcoming party of trees and mega creeps now to just kind of greet them and shove them right back in. And this time they will not have any sort of tier 4 defense. And it does not look like Bulldog purchased anything new. I mean, he's sitting on a crap ton of gold here. I mean, he could just get a Necro book or something on the side just to throw it out casually. But
To be completely honest, I actually wonder if he needs bots, you know? He has an Octarine Core teleportation. It's 15 seconds. And most of the time, if he ever gets engaged on, he doesn't have a scenario anymore where he can sprout and TP.
yeah.
So I really wonder. Yeah, I think maybe a Manta on him, because it's a lower cooldown Manta with the Octarine as well. And it's a little bit stronger than his Treants. They seem to melt pretty fast right now.
Yeah, we'll see. Something that could cross his mind. Boots of Travel, though, 2 now complete onto Loda.
Yeah, and Bulldog as well. Okay, so they just want to pour it on each other. Like a nice, friendly alliance family.
Did they use Glyph? They did not. So Glyph is still on hold here for VP. Do Alliance try for like another all-in kind of a play and just throw their bodies at the throne, hoping to finish this one out? We'll see. G, in the meantime, still trying to go for the world record on richest Viper we've ever seen in Pro Dota.
Oh, I'm sure he must have broken it. This is like this is not the type of thing you would ever get in a single player game.
Maybe last hits too.
Yeah.
1132. Last hits. Freaking
This is absolutely insane.
It's a shame he's a Viper.
Yeah. Not the hero you would expect in this scenario at this point in the game, but you know, Particles still haven't broken out, and Alliance are only sending in some of the military.
Man, it's freaking 85, 86 minutes into this freaking game. Alliance, why? Why do you do this? I'm sure Virtus.Pro screaming out the same thing right now, and they continue to just hold. Hold and hold and hold. And Alliance, they will wait. Wait for Roche. This is now the possibility of it being up. What they don't know is it's going to be about another 2 minutes. So they will continue to pressure the lanes, wait for the Aegis, and make another go, maybe. We'll see. Look at this. This is the worst. Having to deal with every illusion and little critter that runs in.
There it is, the ultimate coming out of Bulldog. More Treants. More Treants.
Yummy. Oh, mid lane. Just a nice plethora of creeps. Pushing down slowly. It's like water torture here for Virtus.Pro. A slow and painful death. The Alliance are just glad to take most of the map and be like, yeah, we'll just keep farming and just waiting it out, and you know, Aegis soon enough, sure. Dum-de-doo.
Yeah,
Loda need to get anything else?
Selection. Oh, Glimmer Cape. He might be going in.
There it is, a walk-in Sonic Wave.
Oh my gosh.
That's great.
Ah, the Glimmer Cape into the walk-in Sonic Wave, as you said. The classic.
Just anything they can to make sure that the pressure just stays. Slowly we go in. Alliance bit by bit. Here come the illusions. The fake hype is real.
Oh, that's a rapier on G.
Oh, okay. That's getting a bit excited. I'm percolated now.
Drop the butterfly for it. All right.
It will not be a surprise as he just walks through the creeps with it now, unless Alliance didn't happen to click on him. I'm curious to see if it could catch him off guard a bit. It's going to hit hard. Let's see. Alliance, though, very reserved. Way, way back. They do not want to get. They don't want to risk anything here. Not yet.
And they really want to. They really want to deward that ward there. It's a fresh new one, and they don't have vision for it for the time being. But I imagine with Akke Spirits, if he does decide to spawn them. Actually, pardon me. I don't think they get vision anymore. Bulldog maybe with the Sprout.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, jump in, dunk, follow up, Sonic Wave, toss combo, Silent goes down, he'll have to quickly buy back. Phobos the follow-up, he does not have a buyback. G here now with that rapier, but Alliance are already happy to get that little hit and run done. Now they go in, it's a 5 versus 4. Oh, S4, trying to make a move on FNG, who does get the grave off in time. Now we look at Kebap being in, looking to block out Silent. It's a Silent's second life here, and they're making a move for him, he has to BKB to avoid being taken out of the game permanently.
Dyer's
Loda walking around here, trying to find a proper target. Looks like he'll get the toss back on Silent. Not enough. He lives. He'll be able to make it back to the fountain for now. But look at Bulldog. He's going right for what's important, the throne. Him and Loda now in arms. Looking to move in. But here comes
the throne's
G.
going down.
They can't stop him. Can they stop him? G's looking to move in. Uses Viper Strike on himself with the Echo Shell, but they are going to be able to get it. Loda buys back, and it's over already. It doesn't matter. Too much onto the throne, and Alliance get the job done. Virtus.Pro is just too much, and then you feel like, God damn it, did we really have to wait out that half hour for them to ultimately get the game? But you know what? Credit to Virtus.Pro. They tried their best.
They did, man. They pulled no punches on that last 30-40 minute sequence. Held the best they could. Went with all the smokes they can. Unfortunately, sometimes they couldn't get the picks, but they even came back with a 3 racks disadvantage to a 3 racks even out. And then, of course, Alliance's strategy as well as their split push was a little bit too much for them to handle. But Alliance are back for today.
For today, they are back. They have won their series. We'll see how things work out for them tomorrow and as they progress through the rest of this tournament. But they have finished out their 3 series. They would take 2 series win, and they dropped 1 series. So things are looking pretty grim now for Team OG. Virtus.Pro still have another series to fight out, and if they also become 2-1, there will be a serious tiebreaker here into Group A. So with that said, we got to quickly close things out. This has obviously put us way off schedule as we have to frantically probably hop over into the next series coming up, which is going to be Team Vega Squadron going against Secret. So with that said, I'm KotlGuy. Clairvoyance, before we let you go, do you want to go ahead and plug anything?
Yes, thanks again. If you don't mind, just wanted to plug my Twitch TV at /Clairvoyance101. That's my main stream site, and I'm starting to get into streaming a lot more frequently. It's sub 7K MMR gameplay with commentary, so hope you enjoy the tuning in. I won't be available for the next few hours, but when I come back after the series coming up next as well, and I hope you enjoy the series coming up as well. And thanks again, Kotl.
Yeah, no problem, man. I tuned in briefly. You were playing Kotl, believe it or not, and very impressive.
That's a homage to you, my friend. KotlGuy.
Oh, yeah. I just happened to tune in, and very good commentary, a lot to learn there. So be sure to check it out. Other than that, we'll put this up on the VODs and to the YouTube for Beyond the Summit, and we'll be right back for our second series.